It's Friday. You can't get that noise out any louder than they just did. Welcome to Fesco and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan. I'm glad to have you today. Got a good stretch of weather for the weekend, boys.
Looks beautiful out there. I was actually up this morning a little bit earlier because do you have a sinus headache today? Does anybody else have a pressure headache or anything like that? So I woke up with the pressure headache and I'm looking at the weather app to see what the pressure is and all that kind of stuff. Pressure. And the weather for the next couple of days looks great. And then it says Tuesday, 1.67 inches of rain on the way. I'm like, good Lord. We can't get out of the way of all this rain.
Oh, it's going to rain next week?
Yes, all next week. So enjoy this weekend. It's going to be beautiful out there today. As soon as the show's over, I'm going to go get on a boat and enjoy the lake with Ralph today. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Pontoon?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Couple of drinks out there.
Does he play on the pontoon when you're on the pontoon?
What is playing on the pontoon?
That's where the song Motorboating comes from. Yeah. On the pontoon.
Yeah, that's right, yes.
Motorboating.
Yeah, people say I use that term motorboating wrong. When I say, like, the Chiefs win 35-0, they motorboated the opponent. People are saying, what do you mean motor? That's the term that people use.
Maybe there's two. There's one where you get your head between a couple sweater kittens, and then there's one where you just absolutely, obliterate something else.
I just want to win, Jen.
That's right.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, no doubt about it. So that's my plan for today. Zoom to the lake. Gonna enjoy the sun while I can for a day.
There's lakes in Kansas?
There are.
I did not know
stadiums
that.
and lakes. Yeah, it's gonna be wild. Yeah.
I didn't know there was lakes in Kansas today. I guess no, Smithville's not in Kansas for sure. That's way, way away.
No, that's a.
I'm not from here, man. I don't know. I've been around here for about the last 5 years, but I just drive. I just go down 35, 435, and 69. So we got a little bit of news.
Yes, we do. Big news today. Major. I mean, this may be, and I'm not overstating this. This may be the biggest news I've heard this week.
No, it's not.
Absolutely, it is.
No way. The biggest news you heard was Wednesday.
What was Wednesday?
Wasn't that, or was it Thursday? What was the news when they said that they bought the mortgage?
Oh, I told you that since October. That wasn't news.
Okay. But it was like
that's fair.
But it was like stamped, right? It was like, hey, here, they actually did it. This isn't a radio guy telling you. This is actually like the franchise telling you.
Right, your McMahon walk moment.
Yeah, I did a little bit, but I still think this is bigger. I really do.
So shout out to Dayton Moore and to you for inviting me to this event last night. I appreciate the invite. It was fun. I got to meet a lot of fun people out there for the Seeing the Major Leagues Foundation, the C10, all that sort of stuff. It was nice to, meet Dayton and have fun with him. But that wasn't the best part of the night.
No, not even close to the best part of the night.
We were told that somebody's getting married.
Somebody's getting married.
And that person is... Well, here comes the bride down the aisle. She's got a good pace to her, and she's going to be my wife. So congratulations to the one and only Denny Matthews.
Yes,
is going
Denny's
to get
engaged,
hitched.
man. Congratulations, Denny, baby. Yes.
And that's not it.
Oh, no. There's more.
So, but wait, there's more. So, talking to Denny's fiance,
Amy, lovely girl. Known Amy for about 20 years now.
Amy, what you want to do? She put us in charge, by us, Bob and myself, which, Mac, now you're involved because you're part of this.
You got to do all the planning, sir.
No, I'll help because I'm excited.
No, I am
We're
too.
in charge of his bachelor party.
That's right. We're putting on a bachelor party for Denny, baby.
We're going to get Denny turnt. We're gonna celebrate. Denny Matthews about to have 3 rings.
Yeah.
85, 15, 26, 27?
25. They're getting married November 15th is the date. Yep.
Oh, nice.
So
then we've got to get this going.
Yeah.
Trust me,
The wheels, man.
Bob was up late last night. It was 9:45, and he was texting me.
The wheels are in motion. I even texted Lefevre last night, right?
Yeah.
I texted Ryan.
He's on board.
I text Ryan. I go, well, ... Looks like I'm in charge of Denny's bachelor party.
No doubt about it.
I'm waiting for Lefevre's response this morning going, oh, boy.
Yeah.
I couldn't be happier for Amy and Denny, though.
Denny was awesome last night.
it is so cool to just to be around Denny Matthews and to talk about Denny. And kind of what I want for this bachelor party, and I don't know if you feel the same way. I think you do. More of a celebration of Denny Matthews for all the years that he's been doing Royals baseball and all the years that he's been in our homes and all the years that everybody everybody around has formed a relationship with Denny Matthews, because that's what you do, right? Like when you listen to baseball, it's a relaxing deal. It's part of your daily life. It's part of your friendships. You know, you listen to the game on the radio.
Right.
You get that bond. People have been listening to Denny for 60 years here in Kansas City, call Royals baseball. And so we're going to call it a bachelor party, but also to a celebration of Denny. I mean, this dude's getting married, man. Way to go, Denny. I'm excited for you.
It may not be like your bachelor party that you think of where we're going to go to Nashville, we're going to go to Vegas, because I offered. I said we should go to Vegas. She goes, oh, well, you know, maybe not that. She's like, and then she looks over, she goes, who's this guy again, Bob?
Yeah,
Like, this is my co-host. He's been around for like 3 weeks. You'll get used to him, trust me. But no, it's awesome because like we kind of congregate around Denny, and it's you, it's me, it's her, and we're all talking. And at first, Denny's like, oh, I don't know, man. You know, come on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need all this. Right? No. And then Bob's like, no, it's a celebration of you. It's an announcement. Like, look, man.
Did you see his face change when he started to buy into the idea, too?
Yeah,
how
he
happy
blushed
he
and
looked?
smiled.
Yeah, it was really humbling, I think, for him. I don't think Denny knows how many people love him. I really don't. Like, and that's what I want to do. I want to show everybody that people love Denny. You brought up Dayton and his event last night that we were at. And I always tell the story about Dayton when I talk about winning and why it's so important to appreciate the moment, because a year after they won the World Series, I go, you still don't understand what you've done. He goes, no, not really. You know, like didn't appreciate the impact that winning had on Kansas City because they were so caught up in the baseball side of things.
Right.
They can get caught up in the people side of things, right? And that's, I think, where Denny is right now. He's in there every game, doing the games, you know, talking to us, but he doesn't get the feedback back about how many people love him. And so now that he's engaged, this is going to be a great time for everybody to celebrate Denny Matthews, and we're all going to do this together. We're all going to tell him how great he is and how wonderful he is and how much we love him and how excited we are for November 15th. Denny's getting married, man. It's awesome.
So we figured hopefully we can get this done somewhere around the All-Star break, because that way everybody's off. Nobody's really, away. The people that will join are probably just going to be on a staycation here in Kansas City. So hoping to have some people join. 913-586-7965. What?
Wow.
Oh, yeah, that guy. So let us know what you think. Let us know ideas that you'd like to have for Denny's bachelor party that'll be in studio with hopefully the man himself, because he said he's down. He gave us the okay.
Yep.
He said, sure. All right.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Yep. We did not push this on him. We just told him we were going to do it. No.
And then Bob threw me to the dogs. He goes, have him hear your Denny impression.
Yeah, so having Dusty do Denny to Denny was really good, but then that's
Never
really
in my life.
but that's when the story really took a turn, because then Denny started doing Harry Carey.
Yeah, because then Amy was like, well, he does a really good Harry Carey. So then in my life, I never thought I'd be in a room staring down the man who's been in my ears for my entire life, doing his voice in front of him, and then he's like, all right, well, here's one for you. Here's Harry Carey, but like gets it all ready, dude.
Yeah.
Like, cleared the throat. And he's like, so one time he's like, there's this game, and Harry and the other guy are doing it, and they
Steve
go
Stone, for those who remember watching Steve Stone. He's not doing the White Sox. Steve Stone's great.
Yeah. And he goes, well, back in the day, they used to have to take a live shot, and they'd come back around, and they'd do a solo shot of the guy standing there, and they'd turn around and look into the camera, and the guy goes, hey, all right, turn
Fifth
around.
inning. The fifth inning's important.
He goes, turn around, Harry. And Harry turns around, and I kid you not, he says, Harry takes a lamp and starts talking to the TV, going, hi, there's a guy on the field, and I think it's a cat or a goat. The Cubs lose. And Denny does it so well.
His impression of Harry Carey is dead on. Like,
Never
it
would've
is.
thought.
I mean, the mannerisms, the words, the pronunciations. He pronounced Cincinnati, and when he did it like Harry Carey, I went, oh my God, that's Harry Carey. Like, legitimately, Harry Carey was there.
He said he knows about the Will Ferrell one, but he goes, the Will Ferrell one's kind of over-exaggerated, and Denny's is a little bit more on par with what it is because of how great he's probably been around him.
Yeah.
I just watched the video. It looks like I'm in an absolute epileptic shock. But you can only imagine, because he said Denny told us that in that interview, like when they did that, the guy's like in Steve's ear going, hey, what the the heck is he doing?
Get the
that
microphone in his face and get the lamp away.
Yeah, and they transitioned the microphone to Harry's hand, took the lamp out. Harry Carey had no clue what was going on.
Didn't miss a beat. Could you imagine that, though? That's back in the day when it was the glory days. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. Shockingly enough, Harry Carey came up yesterday, and we were talking about how awesome he was, and I was telling my friend Paul this story last night, and he texted me back, and he goes, Harry Carey is arguably the greatest man to have ever lived. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to argue with the lifestyle that Harry Carey put out there and everything that he did and, the career that he had. But talking into a lamp, I mean, that's an all-timer right there. And then it got better because Denny's telling a story about a pitcher by the name of Steve Traxel back in the day, and he had some surgery done or whatever it was, and
they hurt his arm in a game.
Yeah, that's what it was. And they were sending him back to Chicago or wherever for to get looked at. And so they put out a press release, and Harry Carey's reading the press release on the air. It says, Steve Traxel's been sent back to Chicago, and they're going to give him a cocaine shot.
That's right.
To which Steve Stone says, I think you mean cortisone.
Yeah. Same thing. Hell, I'd do a shot of cocaine right now, Steve. But what inning is it?
This man is so gassed by the fifth inning, he's doing a stand-up on live TV with a lamp because he thinks it's the microphone.
Back in the day.
Good God, I wish I was alive back then.
That's why I wonder, the people that, see, that's why it's interesting to see Denny talk about Will Ferrell's character because Denny lived it. That's somebody that he actually got to see. When you see impersonations today of, people that are actually, of importance that have, a pretty big figure, and you see somebody impersonate them, you're like, wow, that's dead on.
Yeah.
You watch, all those people, when Robin Williams would do them, I remember being like, oh my gosh, he's like De Niro.
Yeah.
He sounds and actually looks like him. Jim Carrey, same thing. But yeah, that's awesome. Denny Matthews getting married. Congratulations to him and Amy.
Yep. So excited for
that.
Man. It's awesome.
Should be a great time. Mac's going to be the ring bearer.
Right.
And I'll be the flower girl.
There you go.
I'll put little tulip lips down the aisle everywhere I go.
I'm not understating or overstating whatever the term is, my excitement for Denny. I am thrilled to death. And the people that we were telling last night, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, really? Everybody is so excited for Denny. I hope Kansas City's excited for Denny and Amy because they're the new power couple of Kansas City, baby. Let's go, Denny and Amy. And we're going to celebrate the hell out of him.
Somebody on the text line, I think you guys should do an all fans invite tailgate party in the parking lot of 96.5 for the Bachelor party.
I like that.
We'll figure it out. We'll get things done. Maybe we can get a red carpet, throw it down the entrance, and they can walk out and everybody can give them their congratulations. Invite Sazerac Liquor. We will bring drinks.
All right, there you go, done.
Don't tease me. Don't tease me.
Give me some. I like making Sazeracs, man. That is a great cocktail. Got me singing in New Orleans one night.
There's a Sazerac rye, and I work with a guy named Ryan Lefevre. I love that. So congratulations, Denny Matthews. Coming up on the other side, speaking of Denny Matthews, he gets to announce the biggest series of this year. It's Royals and Tigers. We'll dive into it on the other side. Plus, Mike Leach content as well here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Jonathan India here, and you're listening to Fesco and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, I'll tell you what, folks. We're headed into the weekend, and you want to make sure it's a great weekend. But if you're suffering from ED, you may think to yourself, man, I don't like the weekend, and I really don't like many days because ED is a terrible condition. We know it causes stresses in relationships. It creates anxiety and undue hardships on a man and often on their partner as well. Yet many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But Heartland Men's Health is here to help. They have treatments that work when the pills or herbals fail. They have treatments with success rates well over 90%, and some treatments can even have you last an hour or more. So schedule a consult with Heartland Men's Health today. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes a medical consult with a licensed medical provider, a T and PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Plus, they have an expert staff, and if you're like a lot of men, you could be having sex the day after your appointment. They have 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Independence between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and their new office in North Kansas City. So call them today, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
It's the spring sales event at Rob Sight Ford, and I'm here with the man himself, Rob Sight. Rob, you already stole the spotlight. Now what are you trying to take?
Just your attention, Kevin, and maybe a few trade-ins. Now, we've got up to $14,000 off new Fords with employee pricing, plus our own dealer discount.
$14,000. That's hotter than your Sunday barbecue.
Exactly. And unlike your burgers, these deals won't dry out. We've got hard-to-find inventory, huge trade-in values, and our non-commissioned sales team makes everything so easy.
No pressure, just real help. Even I'll admit it, it's the best place in Kansas City to buy a car, and I don't hand out compliments lightly, or seconds.
That's a fact. And don't forget, we're Kansas City's top-rated Ford dealer on Google. 4.8 stars, nearly 3,000 reviews, and 0 grill marks.
All right, Rob, I'll give it to you, man. You're cooking up some real value over there.
Come see us at 135th and State Line or visit robsight.com. But hurry, these deals are sizzling and inventory's moving fast.
And tell him Rob sent you. No guarantees, but he might throw in a hot dog.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to Bundle Deal Days at AutoZone.
Well, I do need a bundle of things.
When you bundle, you save.
Do I save if I bundle oil with an oil filter?
Save up to $12 on that bundle.
What about brake pads and rotors?
Bundle those and the brake pads are free.
Can't save more than free.
You can save on hundreds of deals during Bundle Deal Days. Ends June 2nd at AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply. Duralast brake pads only.
Attention retirement savers. A top U.S. bank predicts a 2025 recession as tariffs rattle markets. According to reports, 2025 recession risk just increased significantly. That's why thousands of hardworking Americans are turning to award-winning precious metals company, Goldco. Goldco is offering you a free 2025 gold and silver kit. Plus, you can get an unlimited instant match and bonus silver for qualified accounts. Call 855-969-GOLD. Find out how you can help diversify your savings. Tax and penalty-free today. That's 855-969-GOLD. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
It's First Inning Friday on FanDuel, where every week FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a special offer you can use on early game baseball action. Put your baseball knowledge to the test from the very first swing with no runs or yes runs in the first inning. Will anyone score in the game's first frame? Check each team's season stats right there on the FanDuel app, and you make the call. Every First Inning Friday, you can expect a special reward, like a Profit Boost token, no sweat bet, or more. So just make sure that you come back every week to take your swing. Just visit FanDuel.com/KFNZ, FanDuel.com/KFNZ, America's #1 sportsbook app, and make every moment more. FanDuel is an official partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued. Non-withdrawable bonus bet. Retires 7 days in receipt. Returns supply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas. Under agreement, Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem. Get them at your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit KansasGamblingHelp.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Stay comfortable year-round with expert HVAC installs, zero down, payments from $150 a month. Scheduled now at AnthonyPHC.com. Heading out of Kearney, 35 southbound, you may see some lingering delays from construction. Only scheduled till 6 if they have the left lane blocked. Money-back guarantees and parts and labor warranties mean you aren't just buying products, you are securing your investment. For a limited time, receive a free furnace when you purchase an AC. Schedule your complimentary proposal online at AnthonyPHC.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
to it here on 96.5 The Fan. Your home for the Royals, Chiefs, and K-State Athletics.
And Denny Matthews' bachelor party as well.
That's right. Better believe it. Going to be a good time. We'll get more stuff planned out. We'll get some more information for you, but we're aiming towards around All-Star break.
That's
That'd
right.
be mid-July, which would be great. Can't wait. Celebrate that man. Deserves it.
Deserves every minute of celebration.
And
man.
more.
Oh, hell yes.
But speaking of celebrating, so the Royals play a pretty damn big series starting tonight.
Biggest one of the year. And that's not hyperbole. It's not an overstatement. And it's not too early either, Dusty. You know, in baseball, we always hear, oh, it's too early. It's too early. No, it's June now, and you got the best team in baseball coming in. Let's see what you got, right?
No doubt about it. And you're going to face the Cy Young on Saturday. You're going to have your own Cy Young on Sunday, and you're going to bring back one of your big arms tonight. Tonight is a big night for Seth Lugo, and there are many reasons why. I do think that we will see Noah Cameron get demoted today to Omaha because of roster spots and all that sort of thing. So some people will be maybe upset about that. Some people may be upset about Noah Cameron going down. It'll be temporary. So if, in fact, you want to see your team compete against the big dog, which the big dog is Detroit, I think a win out of this series is 2 out of 3. I think that's a big, big win for this ball club. I think another big win, which might sound like a loser's mentality, is go out there and play competitive baseball. Even if you only win one game against Detroit, but stay in the game, right? But also, Seth Lugo is a very popular name for a lot of people right now, more so because of who Noah Cameron is. And a lot of people will say that Noah Cameron should be on this roster, should be on this staff. They should go get a bat. And if they're going to get a bat, they got to get somebody that's proven that's not going to be here next year. We all kind of agree that Seth Lugo will opt out of his contract next year, as he should. He'll try to hit the market and get more money somewhere else. So if that is the case and that is the theory, then Seth Lugo has the biggest sort of value on anyone's head in the pitching rotation, which means that if Seth Lugo is dealt, that means there is an open spot, which means Noah Cameron would then come up. So for Royals fans out there, yes, you want to see them beat Detroit, obviously. You want to see them actually have a pretty decent offense tonight. That's there as well. And third and foremost, if you really want Noah Cameron to be on this roster and you really truly believe that Noah Cameron is a future part of this team that has a great arm, then you should be rooting your ass off for Seth Lugo to go out there and shove. Because if Seth Lugo comes off this injury and shoves tonight and does again in his next start, then Seth Lugo's value has gone up. And maybe he's the guy that you could move because you need another bat. Caglione will be here in 2 weeks. I can assure you of that. And if he's going to be here, you still need somebody else to go with him. Vern has said that. You have said that. A lot of people have said that if you're going to get Cags up, you still want somebody else in that lineup to make it as deep as possible and go get a proven bat. So if you do want Noah Cameron up here, the theory would mean that somebody else will go because you want him to stay. Lorenzen will not bring you in. I don't think that powerful.
No, he's not going to
bat,
bring you anything.
But Seth Lugo could.
Right.
And Seth Lugo is a guy that will not be on this roster next year that we think. So if that is the case, and you want to go get a bat that maybe you could have for this year and possibly next year, then you're going to have to give up something of value. If Seth Lugo goes out there against Detroit tonight and the Royals win, let's say classic Royals fashion, they win 3-1.
Right.
Lugo goes 7 innings, 4 hits, 5 strikeouts, no runs, whatever it is, and the bullpen does their job, Seth Lugo's value goes up again. And then if he goes out there in his next start 5 days later and does a similar start there, his value then rises again. And by then you're through mid-June or early to mid-June, and the trade deadline is within a month and a half away. There's your piece, right? And that's where the whole Noah Cameron thing came into play with the tweet that I had sent out where, like, Noah Cameron is a piece. Is this a piece that you get a big bat for? I don't know if it's Noah Cameron. I don't think a lot of people agree with that. I don't think that that's where you get your most valuable bat. But if he is a piece that can pitch throughout the future of this team and the rest of this year, and Seth Lugo is not part of your future, then there's your obvious answer. And I do think Lugo would bring you something of value towards a team that needs to get rid of a bat because they don't have the pitching, but they have the expended surplus of a bat, and that's where you do your trade.
Well, Seth Lugo is one of the guys that's going to bring you a lot back in return because he is a proven veteran guy. You have to start ranking your pitchers now. Who do you think is going to bring you the most back and who is the most expendable? And I definitely think Seth Lugo is in that category. I mean, he is your most expendable, but he's also going to bring you a lot back. Lorenzen isn't going to bring you a lot back. It's like you can't trade Luke Hochevar and expect to get somebody big in return. You've got to trade somebody good to get somebody good in return. And I think that is very important in this whole process. That's why, as Dusty mentions, it is important for Lugo to go out there and deal tonight, raise that trade value. And I think if you ended up trading Seth Lugo, I don't think that's one where it's really going to affect the future of the franchise. It's going to help you in the present tense. There's no question about it with a bat, but it's not going to ruin your future. You're not trading a budding star. You're not trading Cole Reagans or Chris Bubich. You're trading a guy who's probably going to opt out of his contract this year. Now, that may be a detriment to other teams out there, too, that will say, okay, if he's going to opt out of his contract, then we're not going to give you a whole heck of a lot back in return. We're going to give you minor leaguers. And so that's why the Lugo thing for me may be a little bit iffy. That's why the Bubich trade is more attractive to me than Lugo, because I think you can get a lot more, especially major league guys, back in return for Chris Bubich than you can for Seth Lugo if he's going to opt out of that contract. That's how it works usually in baseball. If you got guys, the more the more contract time they have under their belts, remaining, the better return that you're going to get player-wise, and less minor leaguers you're going to have to get back in return. But as good as Cags can be up here at the big league level, it still is important to get that other bat, because I received a tweet from somebody yesterday about this player that the Red Sox have, Christian Campbell, who's a rookie, right? First 50 plate appearances, he hit .341. Second 50, and he's one of the top prospects in baseball. His second 50 plate appearances, .233 average. Third 50 plate appearances, .222 average. Last 54 plate appearances, a .122 average. So his batting average has steadily declined as the league has caught up to him. That's kind of how baseball works. So while we all want Cags up here, you still have to have that veteran bat in the lineup that understands how to play at the big league level in the most important times of the season. Cags is nice. Cags isn't enough to get this lineup to that next level, and that's why you have to deal from a strength. And pitching is a strength for the Kansas City Royals. Maybe for the first time we saw Dennis Leonard last night. Maybe for the first time since Dennis Leonard was on this team is pitching a strength for the Kansas City Royals. And that's not being hyperbolic either. I mean, you go back to 1985, maybe, the last time that we were this stacked. It's shaping up to be the best rotation that the Royals and Denny Matthews have ever seen. And so what we're looking at here is a great strength for the Royals, but you also have to maximize that strength and utilize it to help your ball club in the best way. And if that is trading Chris Bubich, who has another year after this season left on his contract, because you can get a dynamic bat, then you go ahead and do that. And I'll end these trade conversations as I always do. The Chiefs traded Tyreek Hill and we're just fine. And that's the model organization in all of sports. Nobody is untradeable. I don't want people to fall in love with Chris Bubich and say we can't trade him, or even Noah Cameron. You've got to explore all the options that are out there for you to make your ball club better at the big league level. And whatever pitcher gives you that best option to get the best big league bat, that's the cat you got to move.
From the 913, Seth Lugo for Cedric Mullins. Would you pull the trigger?
I would. I love. You're talking to the wrong guy about that.
Right.
I love Cedric Mullins. I love Cedric Mullins, and he fills needs for you. I think that guy's I just think he's a dynamic player. His numbers may not show it all the time, but he'd be a great fit in Kansas City. Yes. Did I text myself that? I mean, that's a great text.
He's a fit because of many options. One, he's an outfielder. He's a good bat, and he would fill a void that you need. My only concern with Mullins and Baltimore is Baltimore's out of it. Like, Baltimore's not going to be a playoff team this year. And I don't know what them acquiring Seth Lugo for the rest of the year would do.
That's a fair point. But that's why you say maybe it's a Bubich, or maybe it is a guy like Noah Cameron or somebody of that nature where you can trade them and you set them up for the future, because that's what they're going to want to do right now. And after this season, he is an unrestricted free agent, is Cedric Mullins. So you shouldn't have to part with a lot of big league talent to get Cedric Mullins back. This should be a minor league package. The problem is the Royals don't have a ton in the minor leagues that a lot of people are interested in right now, other than obviously Cags and a couple others. So you've got to find that right package for minor leaguers. I love the Cedric Mullins move. I would sign him as a free agent this offseason if I were the Kansas City Royals. I'm not. I also wanted Santander. Thank God JJ didn't sign him.
179 average. The only guy to not do anything for Toronto yesterday who won 12-0.
12-0, yes, it's Santander. But like the Royals looked at that and they go, we're out because it's too much money for him. That's a brilliant move by JJ. Imagine if they had given Santander that $90 million, right? And he was not producing, and everybody would be on him, and people would want JJ fired. So great move not signing him to that contract. The Cedric Mullins one is interesting because with only this year remaining on his contract, you probably wouldn't have to give up all that much to get him. I don't think you'd have to give up Lugo to get him. You'd probably have to get together a nice minor league package of players to get Cedric Mullins similar-ish to what you gave up for Ben Zobrist because he was on an expiring contract as well. And other than Sean Manaea, I can't remember another guy they traded for Ben Zobrist.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's the thing that's tough about trade deadline is that, you know, maybe if you keep winning and continue to be a playoff team, other teams that are playoff teams are going to say, all right, hey, you have something that we need. We have something you need. Let's talk. Mm-hmm. Whether that's the Dodgers, and it's not going to be nobody in your own division. You can throw the Twins, the Guardians, and the Tigers out. But, you know, maybe somebody in New York and the Yankees are like, hey, we need an arm. Garrett
Are the Mets out of it yet?
No.
Do they want to trade Soto for Lugo?
The Mets are in it the same way the Royals are in it. They have an amazing pitching staff.
Yeah, they really do.
And they're getting by with enough hitting because Pete Alonso, who will, you know, eventually be passed by Jack Caglione, same high school, by the way. So
are we done though talking about like the Royals not hitting and realizing it is all of baseball that isn't hitting right now? I mean, because you just mentioned the Mets, they're doing it the same way. Like it seems like everybody's doing it that way this year.
It's such a vague thing to say they're not hitting. They're hitting. They have this again going into, I believe, Wednesday night's game. They have the second most hits in baseball behind the Dodgers.
They're just not hitting when it matters.
They're not knocking guys in.
Right. They're situational hitting, as they like to term it in baseball.
Yeah, and to give it a football analogy is they're passing the ball. They're just not scoring in the red zone.
In the red zone, exactly. That's what it is.
They're second in the league in yards, but they're, you know, third last in points. It's like, how does that make sense? Exactly.
Right.
Well, the way it makes sense is they're getting called out on base pass. Michael Garcia's got to figure that out. He's doing everything right but that. Waters gets a little jumpy. They're getting thrown out at second. They're, you know, fumbling around on the base pass, which is taking away runs. And they're just not having clutch hitting.
Well, there's also a lot of strikeouts, too. And again, that's a baseball thing. I mean, every night you look at a box score. Every morning you look at a box score and you go, this guy had 12 strikeouts, that guy had 10, this guy had 11. Like, I know that's a cool thing now in baseball, and people are like, the strikeout's just fine. No, the strikeout sucks. It's one of the worst things you can do in sports. It's embarrassing. You know, you just got embarrassed by a pitcher. We're not celebrating the strikeout of a batter. Oh, it's one true outcome or whatever nonsense they give. Strikeouts are a wasted at-bat. Put the damn ball in play. There's a lot of strikeouts that are taking place in Major League Baseball right now. And again, that goes back to the swinging too hard, trying to exit velo, launch angle, all this crap. Just focus on putting the ball in play, reduce the strikeouts. Because if you put balls in play, there's a chance, A, you get on, or B, the other team, you're forcing them to make a play. Maybe they throw it away and it opens up a big inning. A strikeout's useless. I don't know why people talk about, the strikeout is, screw that. I mean, that's just awful.
I mean, again, against the Twins, they had 9 hits, 2 runs. Against Cincinnati, they had a night where they had 7 hits, 8 hits, and they're just not scoring runs. That's the frustrating part about it, is because they're doing what they need to do. They're just not getting the job done. They're, like I said, they're getting to the 20-yard line and they're kicking field goals.
Yeah, that's right. You can't do that. You're not going to win games with field goals. It's like we always talk about the dreaded 9-0 lead or whatever it is in the NFL. Like you feel like you've dominated the game. But then again, you've got nothing to show for what you did. I mean, because you're not scoring touchdowns. You're scoring just, field goals, 3. You're getting 3s instead of 7s, and 3s will never win. And leaving guys at third base, with 2 outs and whatnot, not getting those guys in, you're not going to win games doing that.
So Mike Leach is getting into the Hall of Fame?
Apparently so. I like this. I mean, I'm a big fan of Mike Leach. I think you can't write the story of college football without Mike Leach, right? I mean, this guy has been unbelievable for all these years. Mm-hmm. And the College Football Hall of Fame is changing its rules to allow Mike Leach in. They're also kind of changing it a little bit to see if Les Miles can get in. Based on what he did at the University of Kansas, I would not put Les Miles in the Hall of Fame. That was a scandal over there. That was a joke, and he should not be in the Hall of Fame for that. That was an embarrassment of the way that they handled that situation. But so what they used to have is like you got to win 60% of your games as a head coach to be considered for the Hall of Fame. Mike Leach has won 59.5% of his games and then passed away tragically, as we know. Mike Leach would have been over the 60% threshold had he not passed away, and he continued to win games and continued to be a great college football head coach. And so the Football Hall of Fame, College Football Hall of Fame, I guess it is, they said, all right, we're going to reduce this a little bit and have an opportunity for Mike Leach to get in. Normally, I would say, nope, sorry, you didn't achieve enough. But Mike Leach's career was cut short. That was on a pretty good trajectory to getting over that 60% win total. And I think the Hall of Fame needs to be one of those deals like, can you tell the story of this sport without these players in it? And were they the greatest of their generation, greatest of their era? And Mike Leach does fall into that category. Hard to tell the college football story of the last 20 years without Mike Leach. Mike Leach is a guy that everybody knows. Mike Leach changed the passing game in college football and translated that into the NFL with the pistol formation and all of that and the air raid attack that he had at Texas Tech, back in the day. Mike Leach absolutely 100% deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I would absolutely bend the rules for a guy like Mike Leach.
So then you have a question. Who do you think should be in the Hall of Fame but aren't, that you can make a case for based on their overall body of work?
Yeah, for me, Steve Spagnuolo is going to be the answer to that question. He will never get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame because they don't put in assistant coaches. But Steve Spagnuolo is one of those guys who I'd be like, all right, we got to break the mold here. Can we start putting assistant coaches in? This guy shut down Tom Brady in 2007 when they had the greatest offense of all time. He's won multiple Super Bowls with Kansas City, won one with the Giants, been a decorated defensive coordinator, probably the best defensive coordinator of all time. Can we make an exception for Spags in the Hall of Fame, for God's sakes?
I mean, I think he's great. I just don't know if it merits being in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? I don't think there's any argument that he shouldn't be in.
Yeah.
What has he won? 4 Super Bowls now?
Well, 3 here and 1 with the Giants. Yeah, right. Yeah, 4. Yeah.
And like you said, body of work is the narrative.
Yeah.
Body of work. What has he done? He revamped the defense in Kansas City, revamped the defense in New York, and everyone will still always say, yeah, but look at him as a head coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
right. Wasn't
fine.
very good. But he also was doing it with the Rams, who were at that point in time a very dysfunctional, effed up organization that was more concerned with moving to Los Angeles than they were about, playing football in St. Louis. And so I give anybody the last 10 years in St. Louis kind of a free pass because I was there. I saw that was a bad situation, man. It was a bad deal that went on there with ownership and whatnot. And so did he do good? No, your record is your record, but you're overcoming ownership. That's hard to do.
Also, I don't really care. There are players that get in the Hall of Fame that aren't the number 1, number 2, or number 3 on their team.
Mm-hmm.
The assistant coach, and in Spags' case, he's the number 2 head honcho of this franchise, and he shows it. And he's won with multiple different defenses in multiple different ways and multiple different facets throughout a multitude of different styles of football in decades. Yeah, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah, and that's the rule, and that's fine. They've got their rules,
Yeah.
but sometimes you need to
need to
reevaluate
adjust.
rules because there have been assistant coaches over the years that people have talked about. This guy should be in, or that guy should be in for what they did as an assistant coach, how they changed offenses, or how they changed defenses, or whatever you want to throw out there. But Spags is one of those guys who's never going to get that recognition. He's never going to be a Hall of Famer because of the rules that are in place. But I would think in a contributor role. Who's contributed more to defense this side of Bill Belichick than Steve Spagnuolo in the NFL at this point in time?
It's definitely, I think if it's an egregious situation, because how many times we watch a Chiefs game, obviously we watch every single one. It seems like if there are 17 games in a season, 12 to 14 times there is a sub-bar conversation. Well, we'll see what Spags dials up against
exactly right.
every time.
Yep.
Yeah.
How many other teams do you watch and they're like, well, we'll see if so-and-so coordinator can draw up a play. It's very rare.
Very rare.
Now, again, I'm not watching 17 Bucks
On
games.
defense, very rare.
How many other defensive coordinators does the average fan truly know around the NFL too? And that's the other question that I ask. Yeah, exactly. There's so many of those guys, right? We used to kind of play the game of, is this guy a Hall of Famer? And if you said his name and I immediately said yes, then he should be in. If I had to think about it, I would say, no, he's probably not in because sometimes we put too many people into the Hall of Fame. But ask the average football fan. Go to New York and ask them about Spags. Oh, Spags, everybody loves Spags. Go to Philly, ask their guys about Spags. They love Spags. Everybody where he's been loves the guy, and rightfully so. He's a great dude, right? And his wife can make a mean meatball, let me tell you. But I think he belongs in the Pro Football Hall of Fame and maybe in the contributor role. Name another defensive coordinator that everybody knows in the NFL. Buddy Ryan is the name that comes to mind, and that was in the 80s. Bill Belichick, again, in the 80s. Now he's in his 80s. And so there's just not many of those guys that jump off the page, even as an offensive coordinator, right? Because now a guy calls great plays at 32. They hire him at 33 to be a head coach. They fire him at 34, and you never hear from him again. So we're very in rarefied air with this greatness that we have on defense with Steve Spagnuolo. The dude needs to be celebrated and praised and put in the hall.
So should Mahomes. Why don't you wait until they retire?
I'm with you 100%.
Yeah, he's already in.
There should be a checklist, and if you get that checklist cleared, then you're in. It's like, has he won 2 titles? Yes. Have they won 2 MVPs? Yes. Have they set records more than 2 already? Yes. Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
Then imagine Troy Aikman and Buck out there being like, all right, it's 4th quarter. We'll suit Hall of Famer Patrick Mahomes get when he's 32.
Yeah, 32, and he's already in the Hall of Fame. But Terez told us that after year 3. He was a Hall of Fame voter. He said it. I've been in since Terez said, yeah, that guy's a Hall of Fame. He didn't need to do one more thing, Terez said, after his 3rd year to get into the Hall of Fame.
Matt, he already won MVP, Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah,
He had already,
like what else? 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns.
Yeah, 3rd best statistical season. Yeah,
all right,
that's crazy.
There's nothing left to see here. Let's
insane.
Just put this guy in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say Jason Tatum's already a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
I would say that's the case. 4 first-team All-NBAs, 3 top 5 MVP finishes, most points in a Game 7, most 40-point Game 6s, elimination games. Yeah, I'd say Jason Tatum's already a Hall of Famer.
I was at the J the other day, and there was a little kid in a Jason Tatum jersey. I thought it was Mac at first, but it was cool. I'm like, I'm very cognizant of basketball jerseys that I see because I want to know where the kids are, and what
they're thinking about.
Steph Curry's 99 out of 100 of them.
Tatum, top 5 jersey seller.
Tatum,
say already a Hall of Famer.
And he's dunked on LeBron when he was a rookie.
Yeah,
and then flexed his chest on it. You got it saved on your computer? Yeah, I bet you do.
I bet you do. Yeah.
Mac's movie of the month was Varsity Blues. Does he give it a 10, an effing 10? Coming up on the other side, Mac on Varsity Blues on 96.5 The Fan. You're home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty.
Whoever that bozo was doing the armpit fart thing, come on, man.
Catch Royals insider Josh Vernier every Monday at 8:20, right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Breaking Benjamin and Stained. Awaken the Fallen Tour. This Sunday night at T-Mobile Center with special guests Wage War and Lakeview. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Breaking Benjamin and Stained together live.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Kansas City. T-Mobile Center, July 29th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Bundle Deal Days at AutoZone. Well, I do need a bundle of things. When you bundle, you save. Do I save if I bundle oil with an oil filter? Save up to $12 on that bundle. What about brake pads and rotors? Bundle those and the brake pads are free. Can't save more than free. You can save on hundreds of deals during Bundle Deal Days. Ends June 2nd at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply. Duralast brake pads only.
Attention retirement savers. A top U.S. bank predicts a 2025 recession as tariffs rattle markets. According to reports, 2025 recession risk just increased significantly. That's why thousands of hardworking Americans are turning to award-winning precious metals company, Goldco. Goldco is offering you a free 2025 gold and silver kit. Plus, you can get an unlimited instant match and bonus silver for qualified accounts. Call 855-969-GOLD. Find out how you can help diversify your savings. Tax and penalty-free today. That's 855-969-GOLD. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
It's First Inning Friday on FanDuel, where every week FanDuel is hooking all customers up with a special offer you can use on early game MLB action. Put your baseball knowledge to the test from the very first swing with no runs and yes runs first inning bets. Will anyone score in the game's first frame? Check each team's season stats right on the FanDuel app and make the call. Every First Inning Friday, you can expect a special reward, like a profit boost, no sweat bet, or more, so make sure and come back every week to take another swing. Just visit FanDuel.com/Alex. America's #1 sportsbook is FanDuel, and make every moment more. FanDuel is an official partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Royals coverage sponsored by Border Magic. We've got the edge for your landscaping edging needs.
Boost your curb appeal and add value with custom concrete landscape edging from Border Magic. Choose from a huge variety of styles and colors, all backed by a 10-year warranty. A cost-effective way to give your home that wow factor. Get started now at southkcbordermagic.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side, 35 southbound heading out of Kearney. You hit delays before 19th Street. Stays slow for about a mile and a half down into the construction zone where the left lane is blocked, and things are back to posted speeds around the merge with 69 Highway. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Fesco and Dusty, breaking news: Mac Morey hates Chris Mullen.
Yeah, like who's your most
gotta
random
be the haircut.
player?
I love Chris Mullen.
No, you don't. This guy's running this guy
do.
down during the break.
Jeez.
Who's the most random
That's
player
ridiculous.
in sports that you hate? Like just for whatever.
Jake Plummer.
Jake Plummer. Okay, but he played for Denver, so that's not like really random. That's kind of like Chris Mullen has no tie whatsoever to Mac Morey. Like he doesn't play for his team's rival. He doesn't play. Like there's no
Run
reason.
TMC, baby. It's
there
great
is
team.
no reason that you should hate Chris Mullen. And in the break, this guy sucks. He's one of the worst players ever. I can't believe he's in the Hall of Fame. He only had 6 good
He
years.
had 5 great years, and then he's like, for Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
Great.
5 great years in professional sports when the average career is like 3.5 years, and he had 5 great years? Hell yes, he's a Hall of Famer for that.
Really good player.
Like
All of really good, in my opinion.
Okay, that's fine, but it's just a random one. Like, just
That's
don't
fair.
deny
Yeah.
it. It is
It's
of
random,
all people,
yes.
he comes to the plate with Chris Mullen. Like, I couldn't tell you the last time I thought about Chris Mullen. Maybe when St. John's was doing their thing because he, there and coached for a hot minute.
NBA Jam, baby.
Yeah, and you had that. But I mean, like, who's thinking about Chris Mullen? Like,
I just think
that's
Mac didn't like his haircut.
I don't know what it was. Must not
high
have been.
top. Is that high top?
Yeah,
a little rough.
So is like the most random athlete. The text line, like, who do you hate for no reason whatsoever? You're just like, I don't like that guy.
Yeah, I'd have to think about
Like, got a
it.
punchable
Random.
face or something like that, or you just you're jealous of that guy, or you always wanted him on your team. That type of guy.
That's for sure. There's a couple of those for sure.
Yeah. Like, you hate that guy, but you're like, really, I like that
really
guy.
like that guy,
Like, that's
yeah.
why, like, there's no
TJ
hatred
Watt.
for Patrick Mahomes, right? Like, there's no hatred. There's like, I really want that guy on my team. Or Kelsey, who Semi-Pro Football Out of Focus has the 7th best tight end. Carrington's writing for them now, I guess. So I think the most random player, and for whatever reason, I mean, there's just so many just randos out there that people hate, but Chris Mullen was just...
816, he just said Tatum should be in. LOL. Yes, Tatum has 4 first-team All-NBAs back-to-back-to-back at age 27. Chris Mullins has 1.
Tatum is Chris Mullen.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
it's the same guy.
Crazy. Yeah. It's insane.
All right, let's have fun. You watched
Yes.
Varsity Blues for the first time in your life. I told you to watch that movie, that you'd like it. It's about West Canaan football. Coach Kilmer.
Gosh, Coach Kilmer,
How about
man.
John Voight in that movie? All right, let's break it down.
The thing about that movie is I lived that for 2 years. Like, it's dead on.
Accurate.
It is bizarrely accurate, yes.
It was, Kilmer was one of the best villains, I guess you could say. Like, just so easily, I hated him. Like, he was terrible. I loved how they never really, you got the plot points that you needed, right? You knew where the story was going, but we're not going to, dive in. You get, one scene of the needle of, the guy getting the needle, or the quarterback getting the needle in his ankle or his
Was
leg.
it cocaine, the needle of cocaine that the pitcher got, according to Harry Carey?
Yeah.
Yes.
You put that needle in his knee, I'm done. I'll walk.
And then it's, so intense. The whole team stands up. Billy Bob, the last touchdown.
Remember, this is based on high school football.
Well, high school football in Texas is like college football.
Yeah,
dude, let me tell you about real quick high school Texas story, okay? Let me tell you something about Texas high school. They sell season tickets for the teams, no matter what school you're at. And to take it one step further, they have select the seat day, where everybody who buys season tickets goes to the high school stadium and picks their seat.
Jeez.
Google search Texas high school football stadiums. You will be absolutely mesmerized.
It's crazy. It's the money that they spend on these stadiums. Call Watson up. Get him on the phone. Talk about this because he lives it every weekend, right?
Yes!
The high school stadiums down there are better than college stadiums.
That's nuts.
And then I was doing the college games down there. Hardly anybody would show up to those games for Texas Lutheran University. Seguin High played on a Friday night. You robbed the whole town, man.
I love that they showed that. The town shutting completely down for the big game. And that's real. I love that. That was cool.
So what else? You got Darcy's whipped cream bikini?
Yes. Darcy.
You mean to tell me you didn't see Darcy in her whipped cream bikini?
I was like, oh, she knows. Darcy was obviously super hot, but also made me super mad.
Yeah.
Just as soon as he's in the hospital. Yeah, Mox is. It's just like, boom, go straight to Moxon or whatever.
It's R.I.P. Paul Walker's character. He's never going to play again, Jonathan, but you're the starting quarterback.
And then I like how I'm bad at the names. The starting quarterback who got hurt.
Yeah, Paul Walker's character.
Paul Walker's
you're asking
character.
the wrong guy about names.
I'm terrible as well.
Thank God everybody had a name tag on last night.
When Paul Walker's character I just like how he was the coach. Kilmer's out. He coaches the second half.
Hook and ladder.
Yes. It was awesome.
Think I've seen this movie once?
It was. I mean, within 5 minutes, I was hooked. I almost texted you. I loved it. The voiceover, Billy Bob, get your skinny ass out here.
Moms, get your skinny ass in here. Let's ride.
I think I just like watching it because I watch it through the different lens because I live down there and I'm watching it going.
Miss Davis was my first love.
Oh, yeah. Miss Davis. That's a great scene. Great part. They go to the club. They're like, that's Miss Davis.
Miss Davis,
Penis.
Well, you've all seen your teacher in a random spot before, right?
Yeah.
Like when you're a kid, you think your teacher just lives at the school.
Exactly.
And then you see them at the grocery store. You're like what? Why is that
Out in the
person out
wild?
there? Yeah.
They get groceries too.
I fell in love with a teacher one time.
Miss Clark for me.
Oh, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah. She was my algebra teacher. Hated the class. But boy, she'd sit up there with her legs crossed and kick that shoe off with her short skirt on. Ooh, Miss Clark.
Bob had movement early.
I just want to win, Jen. She gave me some of the best advice in my life. I'm not going to spoon feed you. I wish she would have. It would have been great. I would have been the story of the school.
You
but
did a train or the airplane with me, man. So what else about Varsity?
Billy Bob puking in the washing machine at the party scene.
You gonna call some dinosaurs?
So great.
How do you clean that out?
It made me first thing I thought of. How do you clean that out? And then I was like, worst places to puke. That's urinal.
Urinal at a bar.
Yeah,
that's up there. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. In my car in a sugar daddy costume, and then I use a shot vac to clean it up. Forgot the next morning.
The car stuff. Have you puked in your car before?
I just said it.
Okay. I didn't know. I didn't. That was real. Okay.
Yeah.
We were at Guns N' Roses in L.A. in 2016, and the next morning, this was after my friend, who I went and stayed with, took his toilet, ripped his toilet out of his bathroom, and threw it on the front yard.
Pooh.
Like literally ripped the toilet off. Threw it in his front yard.
Oh, God.
What is this, Boondock Saints?
I mean, it was unbelievable. I'm surprised I made it back from that concert, quite frankly. And the next morning, we're driving around L.A., and all of a sudden, he just pukes all through the windshield of the car. Like,
the smell of that has to be
it's the worst. It was awful.
It's terrible.
But I think, like, puking at a urinal at a bar is bad.
Yeah, that's really bad. Yeah,
Any bar puking is bad because those bathrooms, I mean, they throw some Fabuloso down at 2 a.m. They're not really that clean.
No, of course not.
But how about the evilness of Bud Kilmer?
Gosh.
The only reason that statue's still out there to this day is so damn heavy to move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kilmer's great. They're putting wangers on the windows. That scene. I love the scene in the backyard of just like drunk parents at a barbecue.
Dude.
Like, fire
fools.
it, big skin.
No, these fathers will meet at like the coffee shop and discuss the high school coaches.
Yeah, very glory days. They're at the practice.
Well, that's the other thing, too.
It's rough.
Pops, you got to go, man. Like, let it go.
Yes. Oop-de-oop. Oop-de-oop.
Yeah, yes. Effing oop-de-oop. They have that scene where he to his dad, he's just like, this is what you wanted. This was your dream. And
West Canyon was your life. West Canyon is not my life.
Exactly.
I do not want your life.
Mm-hmm.
Football to your nose later on in the movie.
Football straight to the
What's
face.
What's the matter, you chicken? What? Chicken? That's what he says in the movie.
Yeah. It was awesome. I'd give it, out of sports movies, it was fantastic. It's got to be like 8.5 or a 9.
Oh, it's fantastic.
What's keeping it from a 10 for you? Just because you don't want to give it a 10,
I don't
and
wanna
that's
give it a
fine.
10,
And that is fine.
Because I don't think it's my favorite sports movie, but it's up there. It's really, really good.
Yeah,
it was a classic.
It's a great movie.
Are you gonna next time you're in the parking lot with Ralph and Bobby do the new tweeter end zone dance?
Yes, absolutely.
What's
Please
that called?
Don't give him any idea.
I think it's called. It's money tweeter end zone dance.
It's bad enough he's running routes with gloves on.
The guy stole a cop car butt naked with a cowboy hat on his crotch.
Awesome.
Real quick, what is worse? Mac running routes with football gloves on at tailgates, or guy showing up to Top Golf with his glove on?
There was a lot of that there. Yes,
really?
Oh yeah, guys bring their own clubs.
Bring their own clubs?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Come on, that's worse.
See, I look at Top Golf as not as golf, right? Like you're not going there. You're not bringing your own ball to the bowling. You're not bringing your own football to bowling or anything. You're going there to have fun, right?
Yeah.
That's the way I look at Top Golf. Some people take golf a lot more serious, but when Dusty even said to me, he goes, "That guy's wearing a glove," I'm like, okay. I'm glad I'm not the non-golf guy going, "That guy's got a glove
doing
on."
that. Yeah.
I think the best scene in Varsity Blues, maybe you can agree or disagree with this, when that guy's at the party smoking a joint and it's like, "Hey man, you still come to these? I don't miss these for the world." All right, put that flower pot on your head. Close your eyes and say, "I'm really dumb because I'm about to get hit in the nuts." That's James Caan's son, by the way. I don't know if you know who James Caan is.
Maybe would if I saw him.
Yeah.
That's Jimmy Caan, who plays Tweeter. Billy Bob dead. Lance Harbor dead. Paul Walker was Lance Harbor, who obviously, and Billy Bob, come on. He's eating a waffle out of a peanut butter jar. I love that dog. I think it's a pig. You're right. Yeah, dude, that movie's great. And John Voight is so great.
John Voight is
underrated
too. He is so good in that movie, but he's just good in everything that he does.
Oh, yeah. Go watch Mickey Donovan or Ray Donovan.
I know
He
the guy
plays
bought his
Mickey.
car once.
Yeah, driving in John Voight's car.
Yep.
Shaq has a message for all of you that love TNT, and it's also maybe a message for the Royals. We them boys is all we have to say on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty.
Hey, what yo, man?
On your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
At Shane Company, we know getting engaged is a big decision. But once you know, you know. That's the way our customers feel when they choose a Shane Company engagement ring. They walk into a warm welcome and walk out with their dream ring, knowing they got it right. For almost 100 years, we've been offering personalized shopping experiences. And we're in it way past the honeymoon, with a free lifetime warranty that includes the center stone, cleanings, repairs, and resizing for life. Shop with us at shaneco.com or at your neighborhood store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway.
way. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Don't let clogged drains slow you down. Call Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter today for our $79 mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 5-star reviews ensures your peace of mind. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying forwarded. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Robsite Ford. Non-commissioned staff, low prices, best trade-ins, and the biggest selection. Visit robsite.com.
Shopping for a new Ford? Go where it's easy. Robsite Ford. Non-commissioned staff, huge trade-in values, and Kansas City's top-rated Ford dealer. Robsite Ford. ROBSIGHT.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Heading out of Kearney, 35 southbound, some slowdowns past 19th Street for about a mile, heading into a construction zone blocking the left lane. East side, 70 westbound gets heavy around Van Brunt and slow over past Jackson Avenue. Construction taking away the left lane. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
You're listening to the all-new 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Our buddy on Twitter, Adam Spears, sent us a picture. He's got a Billy Bob West Canaan jersey. He said, this is how I went to my niece's birthday last week.
Oh, nice.
Billy Bob.
That's awesome.
You cost me my perfect record of my state title. Oh, man.
Is that what would be the best fictional jersey to own? Because I told you a few months ago for our Building Hope for Autism Foundation, we auctioned off an Ed O'Neill autographed Al Bundy high jersey, right?
Yeah, it's a good one.
4 touchdowns in one game. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I'm like, oh man, I would love to have that one.
I mean, Ricky Vaughn's good. Happy Gilmore one is good that I see every once in a while.
That's a good one.
Yep. That's a solid one as well. Shane Falco would be
That's
the one I'd
another
love
good
to have.
one, yeah.
Hey, Footsteps Falco. You cost me money in the bowl game last year.
Yeah.
Did anybody else have anything better to do that weekend? You've seen the replacements, right?
I'm not.
Oh, that needs to be your next one.
If you're a football lord,
yeah.
we got to get you in the replacements.
Gotta
Maybe
do
that's
that.
the next one.
That's your next one, yeah.
Footsteps Falco.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's getting ready to watch. Have you watched My Cousin Vinny yet?
I've not watched that.
That's his next one.
What do you mean yet? It's on all the time. Yeah. Sit down right now. Hit your on-screen guide. I guarantee you, My Cousin Vinny, I watch it at least once a day.
Jeez. Okay.
It's, I mean, I'm exaggerating, obviously, but it's on
course,
that much.
yeah.
Like you could sit down once a day and watch My Cousin Vinny on like AMC, IFC, one of these channels. They got it all the time on there.
I'm sorry.
Now you want to watch it without commercials.
I'm sorry. The two what? The two Utes.
The two Utes. The two what? Yeah. What?
Mr. Palladino, are you mocking me? Am I mocking you, sir?
My dad will even call me. My cousin Vinny's on. Yeah, it's on all the time because he likes Marissa Tomei, I think, and who doesn't,
It's
right?
got that Jersey swag.
Yeah,
man.
it really is. Yeah,
It's right at Dad's alley
Talk
right
about
there.
Positraction and tires and things. I mean, but she's hot. I mean, she was great in that movie.
Do I look okay? I'm going hunting with the guy. Do I look okay? Do you think that's what the deer is going to think? Is it what you look like is okay? Let's say you're a deer and you go down for some water and you put your head down. You get a couple drinks of water, then bang, you're dead. You think that deer cares about what you're wearing?
And he's out there in that velvet suit. I mean, it's such a great movie. The two Utes, like my dad and I, we still talk about that. You know, we still quote movies
Prime
about
Pesci.
that. Like, you know, your two Utes, two what?
Pesci did
Utes.
Goodfellas. He did Casino. My Cousin Vinny, Home Alone 2. I mean, that's...
I was talking to somebody yesterday about Home Alone, my buddy Joe. He goes, we went up to Chicago last week, and they had a girls' basketball tournament for Charlie and whatnot, and they're up there playing. They won all 6 games. Congratulations, shout out, dominated the tournament. He goes, we went to the Home Alone house, and I'm thinking to myself, we did that a couple of years ago. That movie's 35 years old. He goes, the traffic in front of that house was insane. 35 years after that movie made. I don't know if there's a better movie that, I'm not going to say stands the test of time, but everybody watches Home Alone and still continues to watch it. Like, my kids quote Home Alone. That movie's 35 years old.
Nowadays, they just have a ring cam and Harry and Marvin be gone. This is what Shaquille O'Neal had to say last night. It's great audio.
There's always saying when something passes away, something is reborn. And yes, it is the ending of the Inside the NBA on TNT, but it's the new beginning for us. I'm glad we're still together on whatever network we go to, and whatever network we come into, we bring it the pain. Just letting you know right now. Okay, I know everybody's sad that, it ain't gonna be the show. The show is still here, baby. You can never kill the 4 horsemen. We coming, and we coming to take spots, we coming to kick ass, and we coming to take names.
Take
And we
names!
doing it our way.
Hey, I love it. Let's go play. I'm ready to go right now.
So, you know, all the sadness about that show, we coming with a whole brand new show, and we don't care who in our way. We coming to kick ass and take names.
Oh, I can play.
That's right. And then Chuck goes, can I be Ric Flair? Yeah. Now, that's a shout out to the 4 Horsemen. For those of you that are unaware, the 4 Horsemen was a group of guys in the WCW. Ric Flair, obviously, part of that quartet, for those of you. But I love that from Shaq because I don't know if there is a designed mouthpiece of that group. Obviously, Ernie's the dad that keeps the kids in the car, seat belted up, and get to the trip in one piece. But the other 3 all kind of have their value. And one thing that I had said, I think it was Tuesday, I said the sad part about this is that we're 1 game away from this being the last time we see this crew. That is not true.
No.
And Shaq made it very evidently clear that I don't care who's at ESPN, I don't care who you are, what you've done, where you've been, we're coming with the clout that we have, and we know it, and we're going to do our own program. Now, I hope that stays true. Because they're going to have a different producer. They're going to have a different director.
Maybe they make it that all those guys have to come with them,
I have
too.
heard that they're trying to do that.
I think so, trying. Well, you don't take them, you don't take them, you don't get us. And it's the most important sports show in the history of sports. And that is, again, not an overstatement.
It keeps basketball very, very relevant.
It does. And ESPN needs that on Tuesday in February when they're running, a game featuring the Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. You need the NBA is successful, in my opinion, in a major way because of that show. You're talking to a guy who's not an NBA fan, but boy, I know what's going on that show all the time. How many other shows are like that in sports, right? What football show is like that? What baseball show is like that? What hockey show is like that? What any show is like that? They've got you on the edge of your seat. You never know what they're going to say. They're entertaining. They're informative. They're everything you want in a show. And so if I'm ESPN, I look at them, I go, don't try to reinvent this thing. Who do you want? Where do you want them? And let's just move this show to a different channel and not change a damn thing. But ESPN will try to mess it up as they always do. Of course.
Yeah, it's, and I'm glad that they're staying that way. I'm glad they're, holding their ground and everyone's saying this is the last one because that's what they put up last time when the Knicks went down 3-1. They said, sad, we're only going to get one more show of this. And then the Knicks went out there last night and had themselves a game.
Yeah, they did.
Great.
Yeah, so now we get a game 6.
Which is awesome.
Which hopefully we get a game 7.
Well, if you're going to get a game 6, you got to get a game 7, right? You got to make sure because as I was telling you guys before, nobody's looking forward to the finals And so I think the NBA may realize that. Is that referee, that ref game 3 going to come in? Who is the fixer, the cleaner,
the extender?
Yeah,
Scott Foster.
Yeah, Scott Foster, the extender.
extender.
He was named after that dish, bananas. And so I wonder if he's going to be called to the equation today, or for Game 6, to make sure that this does go a Game 7. Because once the series is over, the NBA season is over. Everybody knows it. Ain't nobody going to the table for Indiana taking on Oklahoma City. Sorry.
I know 3 people that will. Mac, Drew, and myself. But that's it.
It'll be great basketball.
I guess Carrington
but
will watch.
but
the ratings will be terrible.
The ratings will be terrible.
The ratings
absolutely
will be
terrible.
Have you seen the difference in the ratings between the East and the West finals, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure it's
Well, the West
massive.
finals have been absolute trash.
That's right.
They have not been
Oklahoma
good.
City is going to run through whoever they play.
Yeah.
Probably.
I would say right now, if you put an over-under on it, 5.5, let's say 5.5 games, Indiana, Oklahoma City. Taking
That's
the
a
over
good number. I'm going to probably take the under.
Yeah, it's really close.
It's a good number. That's why we gamble, because it's a really good number. But I think I'm going to take the under about that because they're going to see the TV ratings aren't very good, so nobody's going to want to extend this thing, right? I mean, that's just kind of the way that it is. Like, they're going to look at that guy, all right, nobody's watching anyway. Let's get this thing over in 5.
Yeah, we need more Timotei.
The networks need 5, 6, and 7. That's where they make their money. The first 4 games are basically free. You need 5, 6, and 7 of every series to make money.
The obvious in the room, the elephant in the room, is that Game 7 is where?
New York. That's exactly why it's going 7. When would that game be? Monday night?
Monday night, baby.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
We go to Bob's.
I mean, what's the competition
Taco pizza
that night?
I'm in.
Baseball?
Royals, yeah.
Right, but from a sports standpoint, there's nothing. A Game 7, Knicks, Pacers, Madison Square Garden, Monday night would be a huge deal for the NBA.
Indiana, man, they should be scared if that happens. It's over.
If that happens, man.
They're not going back to New York and winning Game 7. I really don't believe it.
The competition for the Royals do not play Monday, June 1st, or June 2nd. The competition for the NBA at that time, they would play at 7 o'clock, would be Detroit and Chicago White Sox. Padres, Giants at 8:45, Twins, Athletics at 9:05, Mets, Dodgers at 9:10. So
nothing.
Yeah.
Literally no competition. That needs to go Game 7, and I think you're right. If it goes Game 7, look out, Indiana. Do you think McAfee will pay $70,000 for a ticket to Game 7?
Yes, at the
100%.
Garden.
He wouldn't last night.
That wasn't Game 7.
I know. Game 7.
Game 7.
Do you think a ticket will be $70,000?
Not where he wants to sit.
Right?
Not where he's going to want to sit. Absolutely not.
I didn't know I needed a John Mellencamp feud with Pat McAfee.
So let me ask you this: Mahomes' last Super Bowl, you're on. You're at the game. Let's say
talking about the one we just were at.
No.
Okay.
His last Super Bowl. Let's say it's his last year. He's 40 years old. He's in the Super Bowl.
Already announced the retirement. We know this is going to be his last.
Swan song season. You're club level 50-yard line. Game 7, Monday night, New York Knicks, courtside. May never see either one again.
Gosh, that's hard, Bob.
I am hard right now.
It's
I know
hard
that I'm hard.
It's hard for me, and I'm not an NBA fan. That tells you the magnitude of
because what you have
7.
said about Travis Kelce is that soak it all in.
Yeah.
We've got our games. We're going to watch him. The Christmas night game is the last game he's in Arrowhead. You're probably going to have a couple, moments where you're like, all right, this is it. This is the last time he's going to try it out there at a home game during the regular season.
What is that ovation going to be like on Christmas night when they announce Travis Kelce? I just got goosebumps thinking about it. I mean, you're not even going to hear his name announced.
No.
You're not.
45 seconds. Where do you guys go? You go Mahomes' last Super Bowl, age 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mahomes is last because that's the
Over
last.
sitting next to Timotei?
Yeah, because
Jenner?
You may get the opportunity, Bruce. You may get the opportunity to do that again because that's always going to be there, right? Madison Square Garden, front row. The Spike
When's the
Lee
last time they played a Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals? Was it
2001, maybe 2000, something like that?
The
Knicks, yeah.
Was it Latrell Sprewell?
It may have been. My God,
99
he's
was the
choking
last
out
finals
coaches.
they made, so maybe 99. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, so. Yeah, no, you're right. It's been 25 years, and that's gone by in a blink. I mean, we're already starting to see like quarter-century superlatives being passed out in sports. Like, oh my God, 25 years
gone.
25 years is gone of this century already. It goes by in a blink of an eye. Slow down, life, right? But no, I'd have to go with Mahomes because you're never going to see Patrick Mahomes play again. You could always see the Knicks hypothetically play the game. Right? We know you're never going to see Patrick Mahomes in that moment again. And he's going for 10, so it's going to be a big deal.
Coming up on the other side, Bobby Scales going to talk to us about this Detroit Tigers and Kansas City Royals series and what he believes this Royals team truly is. We'll ask him that question on the other side here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty on your home for Kansas City Sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, it's going to be a beautiful weekend out there, and I know I'm going to be spending a lot of time in our backyard enjoying life because our backyard now is mosquito-free. It is tick-free. It is all kinds of insect-free because we have the mosquito dome over our house from the good folks over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control, and they have done an unbelievable job at our home, and they're going to do an unbelievable job at your home as well. They've turned our lawn from a mess of weeds and dandelions to nothing anybody would want to look at into a nice, beautiful green yard. I was standing outside yesterday just looking at that yard at night going, man, it looks beautiful. And we got home, the sun was setting. It was perfect to look at that grass. I'm like, man, Aspen has done an unbelievable job. And then I sat outside and watched the rest of that NBA game. No mosquitoes, no fleas, no ticks, none of that to worry about. It was a beautiful night at our house, and it's all because of the folks over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. I realized we couldn't do it ourselves, so we called those college-educated professionals, and they came out and made our yard look awesome. And right now, if you mention this ad, they'll give you up to half off your first application. So visit them today at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
Okay, raise your hand if you want to make your life a little bit easier. Great. Now raise your other hand if you like to be comfortable. Perfect. Now that you have both hands raised, imagine putting on your shoes. And that, folks, right there is your answer to an easier, more comfortable life. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. This is footwear you don't need your hands to put on. They can be raised in the air, and you can just step it and go. Why don't you experience what people can't stop talking about? Life-changing Skechers Slip-ins. Get your Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I really need funding to expand my inventory.
Swish Funding can help you expand inventory, upgrade equipment, and boost your cash flow.
Well, okay, but I need funding fast.
Swish Funding provides funding from $25,000 to $2 million with payment terms tailored to your needs and cash in your account in less than 24 hours.
So what's the catch?
No catch. If you've been in business for at least 1 year with monthly revenue of $50,000, you could qualify. Just go to swishfunding.com to apply. That's swishfunding.com.
Men, here's the truth. In the bedroom, good enough isn't really good enough, is it? This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And if your erectile dysfunction is making intimacy less enjoyable for you and your partner, give us a call today. Because whether your ED only happens sometimes or all the time, it's time to stop good enough and time to start really good. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. Whether it's only mild or moderate, or even if it's severe, our treatments have success rates of well over 90%. And because we have a variety of treatments and can even combine protocols, we can likely get you performing like you haven't in a long time. You could even last up to an hour or more and make sex great again for you and your partner. So make an appointment and be done with good enough. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices to serve you.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Summer savings are here at Going Gone by Dick's Sporting Goods. Score up to 70% off styles from top brands like Nike, Adidas, Jordan, Kalia, and more. Discover new markdowns and arrivals every week. Hurry in and save big on summer styles at your Going Gone.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
35 southbound heading out of Kearney, still slow past 19th Street with construction, keeping things pretty heavy for not quite a mile and a half to get into and through that road work, the left lane taken away. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Fesco and Dusty with Mac Morey as well at 96.5 The Fan. We're now joined by Bobby Scales, the color commentator for the Detroit Tigers. You're the big bad dogs coming into town. How's the season been going, Mr. Bobby? Also, thank you for joining us.
I don't know about all that. No, it's been going very well. It's been a fun team to watch, a fun team to follow, and a good bunch of guys. So you put those things together, it's been pretty good.
It's been really the last 100 games or so dating back to last year. The guys from Detroit have been absolutely on fire. Why have the Tigers been the best team in baseball over the last year, roughly?
Well, it all starts and ends with starting pitching and pitching in general. You guys saw that, the improvement that you guys had last year. But the rotation has been tremendous. And, yeah, the pitching chaos towards the end of the season last year in the last 45 games was born out of necessity, but man, it worked. It worked in spades. And then this year, some of the starters got hurt. The guy going tonight, Casey Mize, got back in the rotation. He's made a tremendous improvement. Tarek Skubal is the best pitcher in baseball, full stop. Mm-hmm. And then the bullpen has continued to be very, very good this year. So it's been interesting. It's been an awesome ride, but it begins and ends with starting pitching and some timely hitting and the ability to catch the baseball.
With the Central Division being arguably the best division in baseball, I would say it's up there. Obviously, the NL West will have a say with that as well. But when you look at this division, we in Kansas City look at Detroit like, can they stop winning? But I would assume that everybody in Detroit would say, can these people just go away? Who's the most annoying team to Detroit, from Bobby Scales' opinion?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, if you look at how the season started, the Twins going on that absolute heater they went on was like, why are you guys still here? But all of a sudden they got hot, and then we're thinking back to last season like we kind of did the same thing. So I love it. I like the division. Obviously, the White Sox are not doing so well, and they're in the middle of a tear down and rebuild. But when you look at the rest of the division, all of these series are always competitive. Cleveland's just annoying because they do what they do, and somehow they figure out a way to just be in every ball game. And they took 3 out of 4 from the Tigers last weekend. But yeah, I mean, the whole division is tough. There's 0 gimmies. And like I said, and this isn't to beat up on Chicago, but even the White Sox are better than they were a year ago under Will Venable. So the whole division is tough. There's no gimmies. You got to get your mind right when you're playing inside a division, and that makes it fun baseball to watch and fun baseball to call.
Talking with Bobby Scales, Tiger announcer. They're in town for the big series this weekend against the Royals. You mentioned the Twins, and it's funny you did because I told these guys coming back from spring training, I said, I guarantee you that Twins manager is the first one to go. And they started out slow, and then they kind of turned it around, as you mentioned, and now they're on a heater, and the Royals have been on a heater all year. You guys have been on a heater, all year long. Both you and the Twins turned it around kind of mid-season. How does that happen? Because I think we've seen so many teams get out of the gate so slow and then basically just give up on the year. How are you able to turn it around in the midst of a season like that?
Well, I think the number one thing you have to remember, and this is so cliche, it makes me want to, but it's a long year, man. You cannot ride the emotional highs. The emotional highs or lows anytime you're involved in this game. You just cannot do it. And I will say this, I don't know Rocco that well as a person. I hear great things about him, especially given some of the injuries he's had, to contend with. When you don't have they've played something like, their stats ridiculous, and I'm not going to quote it because I'm going to get it wrong, but they have not had, Lewis and Buxton and Correa on the field at the same time for extended periods of time during these last few years. But, when you get those guys back healthy, or at least get 2 or 3 of them, you got a chance. In our case, the thing that I would say is that A.J. Hinch gets a lot of credit for the movement of the chess pieces in game. He's very good at that. That goes with, it's evidenced by some of the things he's doing. The reason he's able to do that is because he has 2 things. Number one, he has very, very versatile players, and he has players that have bought in. And as a leader, you get buy-in when you have complete, open, and honest communication with your group. Here's what we need from you today. Here's what we need from you tomorrow. Here's what we need from you going forward. The message is consistent. The message is clear. The message is truthful, and it doesn't change. And that, when you have a bunch of guys that hey, Skip has asked me to do this, and this is what I need to do, they believe it, they buy in, and they accept their role. And so that, for me, is the reason he's as good as he is. It's not because he can move the chess pieces on the board, which he's good at. His best quality, in my opinion, from the seat that we sit in and the seat that I'm able to sit in with the Tigers, is the fact that there's clear and consistent communication. There's no ambiguity. He has the tough conversations. He does so tactfully, and guys buy into it. And so when you have those 2 things going for you, I think it's to your advantage.
When you talk about that seat that you sit in with the Tigers, talking to Bobby Scales here on 96.5 The Fan, that matchup on Saturday, Tarek Skubal, Bobby Witt Jr., that's the cream of the crop right there, right?
It's what you pay to see, man. It's awesome. And I am, you guys probably don't get to hear me when we're doing other games, obviously, but I am a card-carrying member of the Bobby Witt fan club. I love the dude. I mean, he is a dude. All aspects of the game. And if you do a deep dive into the metrics, everything he's done, he's gotten better. Hard hit rate, chase rate, strikeout rate. The question was, when he got to the big leagues, because he stayed short. Well, he was a little rocky early on. There was balls right at him, which means you just got to clean up the normal plays, and balls to his right. Can he get better going to his backhand? He did that, and he runs, he steals bags, he makes high baseball IQ plays. Huge fan of Bobby Witt Jr. I said it before, he's going to win an MVP in the next 2 to 3 years. He almost did last year. Just tremendous baseball player. I love it. And then getting the opportunity to watch Tarek Skubal pitch, every turn is just that's fantastic. I mean, the guy has just exploded onto the scene the last couple of years and just continued to get better and better and better with power stuff. Excellent command, and just a little nasty out there on the mound. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, dude, his last start was insane. I caught the last couple of innings of that, and I was just captivated. I'm like, what is this guy doing out here on the mound? He's now toying with people. I mean, you mentioned earlier, he's the best pitcher in the American League right now, maybe the best pitcher in all of baseball. It was enthralling just watching this guy pitch.
It was messed up. I have about 100-game package with the Tigers this year, and of course I was at home in Atlanta watching it, and I was like, come on, man, how can I not be in the booth for this? But I watched every pitch. After you check in, when you don't, when you're not doing the games, you don't watch every pitch. But I saw he was starting, and I checked in, and finally I said, come here, son, we're going to sit down and watch this one, the full thing. So
you made your kids sit down and watch it with you?
Oh, yeah, my son Trey, come on, son. He doesn't even like baseball. I'm like, you're watching this, kid, so you'll be okay.
Is there, who else have you made your son sit down and watch? Because that's, I as a dad, sometimes you grab your kids, you go, watch this guy play. I've got 2 daughters. They're not as interested as they were a few years ago, in the professional sports. They'll watch Mahomes and whatnot. But who else have you made your son sit down and watch and go, you got to watch this guy play?
Well, across all sports. I mean, I'm a lover of all sports, and my son, and he's awesome. Trey's fantastic, but he's not a sports kid. He's more of a robotics, engineering, Legos, building stuff kid. But we're going to watch Steph Curry. We're going to watch Tarek Skubal pitch. We're going to watch, I'm a big golfer, so we're going to pick some big tournaments to watch in golf as well. But, that when I said, son, come here, you're going to sit here for a minute.
You got to watch this.
I do want to bring this name up and ask what you know or what you have heard about. But when we say the name Jack Caglione, what does that mean to Bobby Scales?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Like I said, I work for the Tigers, obviously, but I do live in Atlanta, so I'm very familiar with the SEC. And, you got SEC games, so I watched him at Florida a little bit. And, yeah, I mean, listen, man, the dude's got real power. He looks like he's a genuine article. And, this game is getting younger. This game is getting more dynamic, and it's exciting to see guys like him that can do the things he can do on a baseball field matriculate their way to the big leagues. And we wish him the best of luck to get here, and we wish him a whole bunch of hard line drives right at people when they play the Tigers.
Right. It's funny you say. Go ahead.
But a lot of success otherwise. And listen, I say this, and I mean this in all sincerity. I love this game. I consider myself a caretaker of this game. I want to see the game flourish, and that means young players getting to the big leagues and being good and being healthy. And I say this all the time, in regards to Buxton, it just seems like it's a shame he hasn't been on the field as much as he could have been in the past few years, because the game's better when you're young players, when you're marquee guys are out there doing it. It's a better product. It makes for better TV. It makes for better radio. And it's better for the game. So
it is.
You just hope that everybody can stay healthy and these young guys get to the big leagues and do well.
And I think baseball has kind of lost that a little bit. Like, we're such in an NFL world now, Bobby. I know you went to Michigan. You're talking to a huge Buckeye fan here. So Michigan, and you follow college football. You follow college football.
Might have to end this thing early.
So you know what it's like. You see all these kids in college football. You get excited about them, and then the next year they're in the NFL and they're contributing already to your team. Baseball players, you draft them. All right, we'll see you in 6 years. And you lose that buzzkill about it. Like, baseball has got to find a way to speed up that clock. I think eliminating some of the minor leagues may help with that as well. Speed up the clock, get these guys up here that fans do get excited about when they're young.
Well, I'm gonna challenge you on that a little bit.
Okay.
You want the young players that belong here in the big leagues to be here when they're supposed to be here. I do think recently in the industry we've ruined some players by pushing them too quickly. There is a reason. There's levels to this thing. Mm-hmm. And I'll be sensitive to this too. I worked in player development for 9 years, and so it's tough for me to watch some of the contraction that has happened because some good people, men and women, good people in this industry have lost jobs, and I think a lot of it is driven by the economics of the game. I think I will say this. The middle class of baseball has kind of gone away. The veteran guy that may be 31, 32, who's a utility player, who's a bench player, who's on a 2-year deal for $5 million, which is a modest contract. But he's a big league player. He's a winning baseball player. That guy has gone away in favor of the shuttle bus to the minor leagues of guys who are making $700,000. I think the game has suffered for that.
Yeah.
So I don't discount what you're saying. I do think the product could be better if we found a way to get that player back into the mix. Mm-hmm. But that's not the way that the owners have decided to go, and so be it. But I think getting young players who are dynamic, who have earned their way to the big leagues, into the big leagues and playing well is awesome. I also think that having guys who are veteran guys come off the bench, know how to play this game, creates a better product as well. So
yeah, it does.
Striking that balance, I think, is important.
You mentioned that, though, and I remember years ago when the NFL was going through their collective bargaining agreement, Andy Studebaker was the Chiefs rep, and he came in here and he said the exact same thing that you just said. The middle class of athlete in the NFL is going to die, and he's right about that. They'll pay the young guys the rookie contract. They'll pay your superstars, but the dude who's just a good baseball player, as you mentioned, the 2-year, $5 million type of guy, that guy's getting lost in the shuffle in all sports now.
Yeah, I think that's the way it is. And listen, change is inevitable. That's the one thing that we know is coming in life, or one of the few things that we know is coming in life. And that's how it is. So you have to adapt and overcome. But at the same time, I do think the product would be better if you had more guys who were more that were. I don't care if I get in trouble or not. I think you guys who are more major league ready than some of the young players that are coming up right now.
Bobby, last one for you. A guy that's been major league ready for quite some time, Seth Lugo. What would go wrong for the Detroit Tigers if Seth Lugo shoves tonight?
Seth Lugo is who he is, and he's interesting too, because I appreciate in the era of power, everything, power fastball, power slider, power curveballs. We're seeing changeups at 90, 91. Seth Lugo is a guy who is a pitching artisan. His array of pitches is impressive. And his ability to command all of those pitches to both sides of the plate, to both handed hitters, is very impressive. In my prep work with him, he's one of the guys where I write down very little, because what he's going to do. He's going to use all his pitches. He's going to pitch to all quadrants of the zone. And he's gonna change eye level, and he's gonna, it's one thing for a guy to go east-west with his pitches. It's one thing for a guy to go north-south. One thing that guys don't do a lot of, in my opinion, in today's baseball, is get guys going back and forth. And what I mean is speed them up, speed them up, speed them up, slow them down further, slow them down even further, and bam, speed them up again. Get guys in the rocker. And as a former position player, that is the worst place to be. I can handle a guy that works at top or bottom. I can handle a guy that goes east and west. But the guy that can do one of those things, if not both, but also have me constantly in the rocker speed-wise is the guy that gives me the most trouble. And if he's doing that tonight, it could be a long night for the Tigers. And that's how he pitches. And so, I know he's coming back from injury a little bit, had the middle finger injury, or the finger injury. It's going to be interesting to see what pitches he has a feel for, but that's what he does, and that's what he's very good at. And so look for that tonight.
Well, Bobby, we appreciate the time. Have a good call on the game tonight. Enjoy the 3 games against the Tigers and the Royals.
I appreciate that. Thanks very much. Go Blue.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. He got me, son of a gun. He's good at what he does.
He said, "Go Blue."
He got that.
One word.
First name is blank, and he goes on a cruise. He goes on a Caribbean cruise.
Kitty Holmes.
No. Ah!
Are you listening?
What's your least favorite thing about working with yourself?
Body odor. You get one word.
On the count of 3, name your favorite dinosaur. 1, 2, 3.
Velociraptor.
This is one word on Fesco and Dusty.
I've never been so speechless in my life.
That was awesome.
That was fantastic. Like, that was so good. And Go Blue hung up.
And Go Blue knew it.
That was fantastic.
He can't even respond. Go Blue. See you later.
He's
Bobby
awesome,
Scales
by the
off
way.
the top rope to Bobby Fesco.
Oh, God, that was great. What a fun interview. What a great dude. And I will be listening to him now on the MLB app tonight.
Seriously.
See what he's got to say about Bobby Witt Jr.
Bobby about Bobby. Yeah, that
It's
guy was
always
awesome.
good to listen to the opposing broadcast, on the MLB app, because you hear different things than you normally would hear. You get a different perspective. It's great.
I have done that now a few times since you've mentioned that, and every time I like it because I learned something new.
Yeah, you do.
Different perspective.
It's a
that's what they
different
think about that
perspective,
player.
yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
cool.
Mhm.
Especially when you're trying to learn like I am about baseball. So one word on Seth Lugo. Starting tonight for the Royals, you heard Bobby Scales give about a 90-second answer on Lugo that we'll listen to later. But one word on Lugo starting tonight for the Royals.
Good means he's back from injury. He's healthy. He's ready to go. So good is the one word that I will use for that.
Timing. It's perfect timing. You're playing a big series. He's a veteran. Like Bobby Scales just said, he can put guys in a rocker from east-west, north-south, up speed, down speed. The timing for Seth Lugo couldn't be better. So timing for Seth Lugo is tonight, and go get those damn Tigers, man.
Text from Bobby Scales. Had to sneak that in there. Haha.
Text him back and say, "No, it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Oh, I will.
It was brilliant.
That was fantastic.
I mean, it was so good.
It would have been better if he said, had to get that in there. F the Ohio State.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. No, it was great. It was just so Go Blue. It was so good. That's what I'm gonna do with Carrington now. When I'm with him, go Jayhawks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Somebody from the 785 says, like that guy, you need to have him on the show more often.
Oh, we will.
He was good.
He was
we will do
fantastic.
that again.
Fun,
Yes.
entertaining. He needs to be more of a voice in baseball because he's got it figured out.
He does.
He's been on the player development side. He played. He's now on the broadcasting side. He's seen it all. Like that was. He's good, man.
That guy's A1.
Yep.
What was not A1, or at least Siakam didn't think it was A1 last night, was the reporter. Pascal Siakam and a reporter got a little heated last night. One word on this interaction. We'll listen to the audio.
Nah, they played harder than us, I think. I think they played harder than us. Loose balls, like rebounds, like all that. We got to be able to win that battle.
Pascal, can you make sense of it for those of us who don't play this game at this level? Like, you know what was at stake, and you're saying they played harder than you guys. You didn't fight them hard enough. How is that possible?
What do you mean?
How is it possible to not fight hard enough in games?
What are you talking about? They played harder than us. It's okay. We played hard, but they played harder. What's your point? I don't get it.
My point is, you're saying you guys got outfought, and I'm saying
That happens in the game, though. That's basketball.
in game 5 we didn't make playoffs.
Oh my God.
You good? You good, bro? You looking for something? I know, but damn. No, but I'm telling you though. I told you.
Stop the music.
What else you want me to tell you?
This is the kind of reporter that gives media a bad name.
Fishing.
Yeah.
That's my one word. Fishing.
My one word is Clark. because that's the same reporter who got banned from covering Caitlin Clark.
Yes, it is.
So,
Greg Doyle is his name.
Yeah, that guy gets no benefit of the doubt. That guy gets no slack whatsoever. He was clear. That's his MO. He was clearly in there trying to get something and be the story. Instead, yeah, there are times where guys go out there in an elimination game and do play harder than the guys who are not in an elimination game because they're playing for their lives. It does happen. Yes.
Jalen Brunson was the best player in the world last night.
He was phenomenal last night.
That was just last night. That's not. He is the best. Last night he was the best basketball player in the world.
And the Knicks bench played like they had their lives on the line too.
And they did because they did have their lives. Yes. Indiana did not have their lives on the line. It doesn't mean they didn't play hard last night. They played hard last night. That guy's just trying to stir up stuff. That guy, that's a jerk move.
Siakam, you good, bro?
Yeah, like Pascal Siakam in that instance, just like vaulted to the top of the list for me.
Somebody from the 913 said that's a Darren for sure.
That is a Darren. Yeah.
Solid.
And what Bob's referring to is, this last season with Caitlin Clark, he interviewed who, and they did the heart hands, and Caitlin Clark was like, I do that to my family. And then he was like, if you do that to me, we'll be pretty all right. And it was just like, what the hell?
All right,
creeper.
Well, guess what? Now you're going to get zero responses from athletes.
Exactly.
So you've pissed off the greatest women's basketball player we've ever seen, and now you're pissing off an NBA team, both in the same city.
And they're both going to ban him eventually. I mean, the Fever already said you're done, and now we'll see what the Pacers do. And then one word on the Knicks winning last night.
Fantastic.
Ratings. Because if they can win again, now Senior Haliberto is going to be in that building again for Game 6.
Exactly.
And, maybe Indiana, they had one to give. I'm not saying they did. I'm just saying they had one to give.
But when you think that way, don't ever give it because...
No. But I'm just saying they could lose. I'm not saying they wanted to, obviously. They want to wrap it up as quickly as possible because the finals start on June 5th. But, ratings, man. We're going to get another game against these two teams, which is the rest of the playoffs, because once this is over, it's over. Nobody beating Oklahoma City.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah.
Nobody's going to be watching Oklahoma City either.
If the Knicks play, they will.
If the Knicks play, they will.
Yes.
The Knicks won't win, but they'll play them.
One word on John Mellencamp versus Pat McAfee. He called out Pat McAfee on Twitter, Mellencamp that is, because Pat McAfee was at the Indiana Pacers Knicks game on Game 5 and went over and called out, Ben Stiller and Timothy Chalamet and kind of did a hype-up pregame speech. Mellencamp said, that's not what the Pacers do, blah, blah, blah. We're not like that in Indiana. One word on the Mellencamp and McAfee feud.
From a Mellencamp standpoint, embarrassing. Go back to concerts, John. This is sports. McAfee was getting the crowd fired up. There were no cursings. No. There was nothing derogatory. There was nothing wrong with anything that Pat McAfee did. Got the crowd fired up, took a couple of shots. This is sports. This is what it's about. I was talking to my friend Joe, who was up in Chicago last week. He goes, we were on the train, and these two White Sox fans get on. And they looked at me, and they go, you got a lot of nerve wearing that here. He goes, what? He goes, that Royals cap. He goes, Royals cap? He goes, why? And the White Sox fan goes, that's our rival. And Joe looks at them and goes, your rival's the field, man. Like, you don't have a rival right now. And he goes, after that hour-long train ride, we were high-fiving and joking, exchanging phone numbers, became friends.
Yes.
That's what sports is about, right?
Exactly
when you can get and give the competition a little ribbing and stuff like that, that's good for the game. John Mellencamp needs to take a seat, man. Go outside of Tasty Freeze and suck on that chili dog.
He just stole mine, so yeah, we're good. I was going to say chili dog, but...
chili dog.
Yeah.
Sucking on a chili dog. Sucking on a chili dog. Sucking on a chili dog. Sucking on a chili dog.
What does that even mean, to suck on a chili dog?
He said he was embarrassed to be a Hoosier. Yeah, I'd be embarrassed to be a Hoosier.
You should have been embarrassed by writing a line that says sucking on a chili dog.
Yeah, outside a Tasty Freeze.
I understand what a Tasty Freeze is. That's Dairy Queen.
Right, but it's still very weird.
But one thing leads to another. You do not literally suck a chili dog. You bite a chili dog. Wieners. What a weirdo.
Sucking on a chili dog outside the Tasty Freeze. Yelling at McAfee because he had some fun tonight.
Coming up on the other side, we'll get to the out-of-left-field question here on 96.5 The Fan. What's something that should be easier than it actually is? 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Hey, it's Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Fesco and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you, you get in some car trouble, you need to know what to do right away, right? There's nothing worse than having a car accident. Everybody's been in one, or you've had your car break down, and you got to sit there and wait for a tow company to show up. You got to deal with the insurance company to send out a tow company. Nobody wants to do that because we ain't got time for that. So what I want you to do is put Jay's Southland Tow Service in your phone. So when you do suffer car trouble, you can call them right away and get them out as soon as you call. Their number, 816-779-4TOW. 816-779-4TOW. Just put it in your phone and have it, because what if something does happen? You want to get that rectified as soon as possible. And Jay Southland Tow will come out as soon as you call them. We got to use them over a year ago now. We blew a tire, had to have something fixed. 5 o'clock on a Friday. What are we going to do? Jay Southland Tow. They were there, and by 6 o'clock, we were on our way. Jay Southland Tow services the entire metro area as well. North, south, east, or west, they are there for you. So keep their number handy, 816-779-4TOW, or at southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments in Tammy from the West, and it's Jay Southland Tow. There's nothing they can't do, so be in the know and use Jay Southland Tow.
Baseball season is in full swing, and that means the summer heat is coming. The guys at Climate Control have been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years and know how to get your cooling system ready to handle our scorching hot summer weather. Stay cool and comfortable this summer. Call Climate Control today at 816-265-2830 and schedule your AC system tune-up for just $59. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Reiselman Nissan, the king of midsize SUVs, has the ride you've been waiting for. Shop the best selection of Rogues and Kicks in Kansas City, with payments starting at just $399 a month. Plus, every day, Reiselman salutes our first responders and heroes with special discounts. With over 160 new Nissans on the lot, your perfect ride is waiting. Visit ReiselmanNissan.com today and experience royal treatment at Reiselman Nissan. Every customer, every time. Reiselman Nissan. Not all vehicles may apply. See dealer or check ReiselmanNissan.com for all details. It's the trip and the game of a lifetime. Join the Red Kingdom in Sao Paulo, Brazil, as Kansas City takes on their division rivals from LA on September 5th. True Fan Travel is taking die-hard fans on an unforgettable 6-night adventure across Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo with authentic local experiences and exclusive events, all filled with beaches, music, food, football, and much more. Whether you're a seasoned traveler or it's your first international game, you'll explore, connect, and rep KC like never before. Learn more at truefantravel.com.
When you buy a new house, you might say,
"Shut the front door."
Winning!
No, seriously, shut the front door. We own this house now.
But you actually need to say,
"Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there."
That's right. The local State Farm agent is there to help you choose the coverage you need.
Welcome to my crib. No one says that anymore, but I don't care.
So just remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
It's First Inning Friday on FanDuel, where every week FanDuel is hooking all customers up with a special offer you can use on early game MLB action. Put your baseball knowledge to the test from the very first swing with no runs and yes runs first inning bets. Will anyone score in the game's first frame? Check each team's season stats right on the FanDuel app and make the call. Every first inning Friday, you can expect a special reward, like a profit boost, no sweat bet, or more, so make sure and come back every week to take another swing. Just visit FanDuel.com/Alex. America's #1 sportsbook is FanDuel, and make every moment more. FanDuel is an official partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet? Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
East side 70 westbound slowing past 31st Street over towards Jackson Avenue with construction blocking the left lane. 71 northbound slow rolling from 87th up towards Gregory. 435 westbound a little slow from 103rd to the state line. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Back in on Fesco and Dusty with Mac Morey as well with you on a Friday. Got here quicker than you thought. But it's beautiful outside. Going to be beautiful all weekend. Go see those boys in blue. Mike Moustakis will retire a Royal on Saturday. Big Slick at the K tonight. The Big Slick event part 2 Saturday night. Lots of stuff happening in Kansas City this weekend. Jack Caglione in Omaha. Soon as that 10 to 2 show is over, Alex gets in shotgun and Dusty's car, and bam.
You going up to Omaha tonight, huh?
That's right, baby.
You got big plans. I got some good breweries up there, I think, and some good bars and whatnot. That Haymarket area, maybe Old Market, something market. Supposed to be really cool, too.
Yeah, Alex wants to go to Yogurtini, so we got to go there.
Oh, that'll be nice, yeah.
Joking.
No, I'm not surprised you would say that, because Alex is a weird eater.
He goes, "You have any good chicken tender spots out there?" I'm joking. It is 7-ish towards the end of the hour on a Friday, so we get to the out of left field question. Brought to you by nobody, but somebody could step up. Out of left field question today is, what's something that should be easier than it actually is? You kind of said yours.
Okay. I mean, everybody would say golf, right? That should be an easier, any sport, like shooting a basketball, hitting a baseball, all that should be easier than it really is. Then you do it and you realize how good these professional athletes are. I'm going to be honest with you, changing the battery in your car. They have made that to be so difficult now, where they hide it under seats and all over the place. That used to be an easy fix on your car if your battery went dead. No more.
Mine's in the back seat underneath the, the captain's chair?
Yeah, yours is in a weird spot because Jen had that same car. It's like, where's your battery? It's under the seat in the back. What?
Yeah. It's tough, and there's like 15 different screws. You got to take the mat out. Yeah, it's brutal.
Right,
and that thing is in a very tight spot, and it's impossible to lift.
It is. Yeah, that's why they do that. So you got to go in and get it all. So changing the battery in your car needs to be a lot easier, because some of those auto parts places used to advertise, we'll change it for free if you just show up and buy the battery here. I did that one time. Showed up years ago. Oh, your car's too new. I go, it's an 03.
Matthew,
maybe it's too new.
Again, what is something that is difficult that should be easy? Is your out of left field question. Somebody says on the 913, is a teacher taking a sick day?
Yeah, that's a fair point for a teacher, especially. Yeah.
From the 816, understanding women.
Oh, forget about it. Watch What Women Want. It's one of the great movies out there, and you wish that you could absolutely have that superpower. But sometimes you don't want to know what everybody's thinking.
Is that where he can read their minds or whatever?
He can hear them, I guess.
Hear their thoughts.
Yeah. Blow dryer falls in the bathtub. And
then he says, I see dead people and meanders the streets of Philadelphia.
No, then he went and made Passion of the Christ. Changing a headlight from the 816.
100% on that one, too.
It's brutal.
They used to be very easy.
Now you're going through the hood and underneath and pull.
Take the whole front grill off. I mean, thank God for YouTube videos when it comes to car repairs.
From the 816, sucking on a chili dog.
Yep, should be a lot easier.
From the 816, eating healthy, it's expensive and inconvenient. It's
a great one.
It's really not expensive. It's expensive to go to fast food joints.
Yeah, it is.
Go to Culver's and let me know how inconvenient and expensive that is.
You take the family to a fast food joint, you're dropping $60-$70.
But it's expensiver to shop for healthy grocery items if you're
Depends
doing
on what you're
organic.
looking for.
Yeah, it depends.
Well,
yeah.
you don't necessarily have to go organic. You can buy. I mean, I go to Hy-Vee almost every day, and I mean, you can buy 3 heads of lettuce for $2.99.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can buy pork. It's really cheap.
Yeah.
And you could buy like a half pound of Brussels sprouts and walk out spending like $8.50.
Yeah.
I know that from experience. No, you don't. Yes, I do.
Yeah, buy a piece of salmon, $5.
Yeah.
Somebody says
Nice
tagging.
piece.
Somebody says tagging your vehicle or farting around your new girlfriend for the first time.
Did somebody, like, I asked you guys that, how old do you have to be to fart around your girl, or how long do you have to be dating to be able to fart effectively around your significant other, right? Like, it's not the first date.
No.
Yep, blowing ass in the boot.
No.
What was that? Sorry. Like, that's not happening.
From the 913 dating from Dusty Likens.
Dating sucks. It's one of the worst things that human beings have to do.
It's probably gotten harder.
What? Especially with the first 3 or 4 dates. Like the first 3 or 4 dates, it's just so awkward. Nobody wants to be here. What's the end game?
But don't you think it's more difficult? I'm asking as a younger guy.
You're asking me. Hell if I know. I actually had to call people back in the day. We didn't have apps, you know.
But less competition.
I never thought of it from that perspective.
Bob's the one guy who's called me in the last 2 weeks. You know, I haven't swiped right on 500 men or whatever. You know what it is.
Go ahead.
I know that I'm hard.
Go ahead and mark
I've been
that one.
pounded this week.
No doubt.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Somebody says finding a chicken tender spot in Omaha. From the 206, taxes. Every other country just sends you a bill. Would love that. Yeah.
But then how could we cheat?
Something that's harder than it should be. Sky Moore catching a football from the 816.
Jeez.
From the 785, getting Cody to go to a strip club. How about paying a cell phone bill? Like, unless you do automatic pay, like every time you do it, you have to #3. Hi, welcome to T-Mobile. Are you looking to pay a bill? If so, say yes. Yes.
You deal with that? Just
Please
set up automatic
say
payment.
yes. Yes.
What did you say?
Yeah.
We can't understand what you're saying. Yes!
Yeah.
We're going to transfer you.
Exactly. Canceling a subscription from the 913, 100%.
Canceling a gym membership. You ever try to cancel a gym membership? You actually have to go in there. And,
I did it, and I had no Fs. I walked into Planet Fitness 10 years ago. I was like, I don't go here anymore because I don't live in this area. Can you please cancel my subscription? Yeah, sorry, man. I was like, nah, just you guys keep charging me, and I've tried to call you guys 15 times.
You can't.
You have to literally
go in there. It's every gym's that way. It's crazy.
To make sure to go to Nashville when I visited Hannah, to go to the YMCA, to make a trip, to cancel because I called 17 times and live in a different state. Yeah, it sucks.
Somebody from the 816 is ordering coffee. Canceling cable from the 816. From the 816, Dusty when he sees Kay Adams.
I know that I'm hard.
From the 620, not Jerry Jones's dinger.
That's true.
Who's having sex with Jerry Jones? From the 913, getting weak in the knees over Max Giggle. I swipe right on guys.
Max awesome.
Yeah, I don't know, man. What's changing your oil? I feel like should be really
Should be very easy.
I feel like there should just be like a plug under your car that you pull out, and the oil the rest of it pours out, and then you do the lock. I mean, you know what I mean? God.
It essentially is that way. It's just the getting under of the car.
Yeah, like if I can literally put a Blackstone together, I should be able to change my oil.
No question. No question. You didn't have to get down underneath and all that kind of stuff with the car.
Well, now new cars, they've got it all hidden, and it's
forget
different.
about it.
816 says calling up CAGs.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Lining up on sides if you're Quadropius.
Yeah.
Or D Ford.
No, I give D Ford more. You're an offensive player. Know where the line of scrimmage is. How many offensive players have you ever seen called for offsides before that?
Then they called 17 in a row.
Yeah. Then they kept calling them.
And then from the 913, will Dusty buy Sydney Sweeney's bar of soap that was made from her own bathwater? You already know the answer to that question.
That is the most disgusting thing I've
absolutely not.
ever
I can't
seen.
wait to buy it. Coming up, it's 98 days. 98 days.
14 weeks from today.
That's right. Until the Chiefs play their first game in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Max, burning football question on the other side here on Fesco and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
I've been pounded this week.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan.
It's time to build that dream deck over at All Weather Decks. Schedule a free estimate today at 913-206-1974 or online at allweatherdecks.net. All Weather Decks, the right deck at the right price.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-355-8282. That's 800-355-8282. Again, that's 800-355-8282.
Hi, Mia here at the winnings desk of the Missouri Lottery. So, I wanted to write a thank you note for every dollar Missouri Lottery players have given to Missouri and education, but that would be 8.4 billion notes. So to save a little time and a whole lot of paper, here's just one. Dear every single lottery player in Missouri, thank you for helping us give $8.4 billion to Missouri and education. Sorry, my trumpet's in the shop. The Missouri Lottery. Winners welcome and play responsibly.
Looking for the perfect engagement ring? At Shane Company, we know this is an exciting time. It can also be overwhelming. Customers say this a lot. Where do I start? How do I choose? At Shane Company, this is where the magic happens. Since 1929, we've been experts at helping customers find the perfect engagement ring. We invite you into the design process, help you pick out the perfect diamond or colorful gemstone, and choose a style that speaks to you. Come see us in store and at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Rob Site Ford. Non-commissioned staff, low prices, best trade-ins, and the biggest selection. Visit robsite.com.
When it comes to buying a car, simple wins. Rob Site Ford has the inventory, the trade values, and the non-commissioned team that puts you first. No pressure, just 4.8 stars on Google for a reason. ROBSIGHT.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
East side 70 westbound, slowing from Van Brunt over towards Jackson Avenue, then sluggish up towards 18th Street. Construction takes away the left lane. Through the Grandview Triangle, things move well. Then 435 westbound, just a bit slow from 103rd to the state line. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can watch every show, plus video clips and shorts, all right from your phone, desktop, or tablet. The Fan's YouTube channel at 965 The Fan. KFMC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Hour here on Fesco and Dusty. Mac Morey as well with you on your beautiful ears on a Friday morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Looks fantastic out there.
Looks beautiful for the first time in a long time, right?
Yeah, you had a good evening last night.
Yeah, but the day, the whole thing, like leading up to it, was just kind of...
But last night, we were surprised by an announcement from one person that we all listen to all the time, Denny Matthews. The man, the myth, the legend is going to be getting married.
That's right, November 15th.
That's right.
Him and Amy are getting hitched, baby. We're so excited about that too. It was so much fun to get that news yesterday. And Amy comes up to me and she goes, "We're engaged." I'm like, "What? Oh my God, are you kidding me?" She goes, "No, we just got engaged last week." I'm like, "That is the greatest thing ever." So November 15th, Denny Matthews is getting married. So congratulations to Denny, which leads Dusty and I to say, "We'll plan the bachelor party," to which they both said, "Okay." Yeah. After Dusty said, "Well, kidnap Denny and take him to Vegas, have him back by dinner," we kind of dissipated on that one and moved to, we're going to do an on-air celebration, basically, and celebrate Denny Matthews, because that's a guy who's been in everybody's living room in Kansas City. Literally, Denny Matthews has been in everybody's home and everybody's car in Kansas City. He just doesn't know it. But he's been in everybody's home and everybody's car. We all have listened to Denny Matthews forever here in town. Everybody knows who he is. Now he's getting married. What a better way to celebrate Denny Matthews, his career, his life, his marriage, and everything by doing a Denny Matthews bachelor party here. And we're looking for ideas from you guys to help us help Denny celebrate finally walking down the aisle.
Yeah, 913-586-7965. We'll have him in studio. We'll give him a good little ovation to respect him and honor him for his engagement and get maybe some stories out of it, because he gave us a couple Harry Carey stories last night that were absolutely amazing. Said at one point he was doing a broadcast in the fifth inning, was talking through a lamp.
Right, thought it was the microphone. Yep.
Said that he told that Steve Traxel was going to get a shot of cocaine.
Right. Cortisone.
I don't think it's cocaine,
No,
Denny.
not shooting anybody up with coke in the middle of a game and putting them back out there on the mound, Denny.
Imagine telling those people.
Harry, it was Harry Carey he was talking
Harry
about.
Carey. Hi.
Harry Carey doing a stand-up on TV in a lamp thinking it's the microphone, and then Steve Stone just changing it out for the microphone and Harry not missing a beat may be the greatest story that I've ever heard.
Hello again, everybody. This is Harry Carey. You know, working a ball game really makes me hungry, and when I'm hungry, I can't help but think of the great Mexican foods made with La Preferida products. Just as a home run adds excitement to a baseball game, La Preferida sauces add excitement to your meal. If you want to hit a grand slam for your team, simply serve up a tasty dish made with La Preferida foods. Holy cow, what a meal!
So, yeah, hopefully we get more stories on the bachelor party. Somebody said that they wanted to have the fans come out in the parking lot and celebrate.
Yeah, I think that's a great, I love that idea. Like do a Denny Matthews celebration in the parking lot here at the radio station during the All-Star Week. That could be a lot of fun.
Somebody says, Denny's finally settling down. Everyone needs to invite to the wedding. I've spent more time listening to him than my wife.
Yeah, no doubt.
Take the weekend off, buddy.
Take the month, baby. You get all of June.
Oh, you get 2 extra days for that one.
That's really good. Well played. That's outstanding. I listen to him more than my wife.
Oh, that's great.
That's so cool, man. Like, finally, Denny's settling down, right?
No doubt.
It's outstanding. We were so excited to get that news yesterday. Everybody was like, what? Denny's getting married? That's awesome. And Amy's such a sweetheart, too. So we're all really, really excited about that. We're excited to help him celebrate with a bachelor party, a celebration of Denny. So text in those ideas and let us know what we should do for Denny Matthews.
Our idea is to do it around the All-Star break because everybody will be off, and we want to get some other Royals announcers in. We've got a few that are probably booked, but we don't want to say anything yet. But All-Star break, Denny Matthews, celebration of the engagement for the greatest to do it in baseball when it comes to announcing. Also the longest tenured announcer in baseball. So there's a stat for you, Mac. All right, let's get into some football conversations. Bob or Mac brought up the question, who's the first coach fired this year in the NFL?
Well, it's probably going to be somebody I don't know right now because there's a lot of no-names coaching in the NFL, but I'm going to stick by Brian Daboll. Okay. I think he ends up being fired. Either that thing is going to work beautifully in New York or it's going to be a colossal dumpster fire again with Russell Wilson sitting there as the quarterback of that team. I've seen Russell Wilson over the last couple of years. He's not the savior right now that the Giants need. Does Jackson Dart buy them more time? I don't know if he does or not, but I'm going to stick with Brian Daboll. It's a tough first 4 weeks for the Giants, and if they don't play well, you're going to probably have to make a move.
First half of the season.
First 17 games for the Giants this year are very tough.
They go Commanders, Cowboys, Chiefs, Chargers, Saints, Eagles, Broncos, Eagles.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's tough. That's a tough run, man. Who else is really on the hot seat going into the year like Dayball is? Usually at this time, there was somebody that didn't get fired last year that should have. I think Dayball kind of falls into that category.
Mac has mine as his first name. So
Mike McDaniel's your first name.
Oh, that's a good one, guys. That's a really good one. Yeah.
I think it's run its course.
Yeah,
I think the funny ha-ha stuff and the sarcastic attitude and I'm going to be an asshat and I'm going to do whatever I want at the media and make fun of things. Hey, buddy, like, you're out of time.
Yeah.
This is year, 4?
Yep.
All that stuff works when you win.
You can't beat a good team with a winning record. You haven't won a playoff game, or maybe you have. I don't think you have.
No.
You put all your chips in your basket with Tua, Tyreek, and Jalen. You've got Achane on your offense. Ramsey's still there. No, he's gone.
Not there.
Yeah, he's gone. That's right.
Every good player
They're
they
trying to
have
trade their
besides
tight end now, too.
Johnny Smith, the only Pro Bowler on their roster last year.
Yeah,
That's
so-
amazing. Tyreek Hill wasn't a Pro Bowler? Huh. Interesting. I thought he was.
That's like horseradish.
He was a pro-creator.
Big time. 13 times.
Yeah. So, I think Mike McDaniel is on the hot seat. I think Brian Daboll is on the hot seat. You mentioned Zach Taylor.
That's
if
a
they
good one,
fall
too.
into a hole early again.
I mean, if they start 1-3, they're going to cut him. They're going to have to fire him.
Do you know what their record is? Did you see this story 2 days ago from Jamar Chase? They asked him about their slow starts to the season. I think they're 1-11 in their first 3 weeks of an NFL season and like 3-14 in their first month of the NFL season.
That ain't good.
So Jamar Chase goes, I guess we're going to have to play more preseason games.
Oh, man, that's good. Maybe paid Jamar Chase is a lot better than non-paid Jamar Chase.
Their first 4, Browns, Jags, Vikings, Broncos. Got to get 2 wins out of that.
And they always, for some reason, Burrow struggles against the Browns.
Yes, he does.
I don't know if it's a Burrow thing or if it's a Zach Taylor thing, but figure that out.
That's at Cleveland.
Well, I think the uniforms are very similar. They don't know who they're throwing to. Maybe there's some color blindness involved. I don't know.
Todd Bowles is like a hot take name that I wrote down there. I mean, I don't know if you remember last game against the Buccaneers last season. Everyone was throwing fits about Todd Bowles, having Chris Godwin, me out there included, just his decision-making at the end of games. I think fans are kind of this close. They know that he's done great and he's done well, but they're kind of waiting for him to mess up. If they start in a hole, if Baker doesn't look as good, if they kind of have a year of remission or whatever, yeah, I think Todd Bowles would be that.
See, I take the other side of that. I think he's coaching in a place where you have a bunch of senior citizens at John Knox Village that really aren't dialed in, and he's just good enough, with Baker to kind of make it work down there because the alternative is who you going to get. Todd Bowles is a decent enough head coach.
I think he's solid.
You know, if you got somebody in the waiting and you're ready to go and you got your guy, okay. I mean, he's done a nice job in Tampa. Really has. Took over for a Super Bowl winning coach and a Super Bowl winning quarterback and kind of got them back to respectability a little bit.
Do you think if the Panthers started sucking, they fire Dave Canales?
I think you get 3 years with your quarterback.
Is this is year 2 for
This
them,
will be year
right?
2.
I think he's okay.
Because the second half looked pretty good.
Mm-hmm. After the
them.
benching, that's a coaching decision.
That was coaching,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And it
No,
paid
it's
off.
paid
So
off, yeah.
that bought him the full year.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
Who's the guy in Indy that thinks Daniel Jones is a good quarterback?
Yeah, Shane Steichen.
Steichen's out there.
Yeah.
98 days to the Chiefs. Is that right?
98 days.
We got 98 days and 14 weeks from today on 14 Fridays.
Go.
Dusty and I were talking about it last night. Like, by the time we get on the air Monday, like 85 million things would have happened. But for Friday night, we get to watch the Chiefs have a couple
so
pops.
nice.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
So best 98s for the Chiefs.
Best 98s for the Chiefs. The only name I really recognize on this list, well, there's 2. Eric Hicks, great player back in the day. Your longest tenured 98. Turk Wharton wore 98.
So those are the only 2 that I really recognize too, but I didn't know for
I
sure.
don't know who half, like,
Okay,
You don't
that
know
makes
who
it feel a
Nate
little better.
Harris is? You don't know who Leonard Griffin is?
heard of it.
You don't know who Roy Miller is?
Roy Miller was the one that jumped. Who the hell is Roy Miller?
I don't know.
2017 to 2017.
Yeah, exactly.
Kendall Reyes, 2016 to 2016.
I remember
98.
that
Just
name.
don't wear 98.
Yeah, not great. Other than
Xavier
Wharton.
Williams. How do you not know who Xavier Williams? Nick Williams.
Oh, hell, this guy played for a long time. He played from 09 to 17, this
Better
Roy
believe it.
Williams did.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Roy Miller, yeah. Played 9 years in the NFL.
My grandma thought Eric Hicks was sexy.
He was.
Okay.
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 Confirmed.
Shout out,
very
Nana.
good, very good looking guy. Good call by your grandma.
He
Yeah.
plays angry, but he looks nice.
He
All
did.
right, Nana,
All
let's
right,
let's
sweet.
let's tone it back. Put that Winston back in those lips and chill.
Yeah.
Oh, I will.
He does play. He was yeah. I like Eric a lot.
My grandma's favorite man was Ed Harris. She at one point quote, and I will quote this. She said, "I'd wrestle him."
Rassel.
I said, damn,
Whoa.
Oh, Anthony Toribio wore number 98. I remember him during the early years of, well, not the only years of Pioli and them.
Eric Hicks was like the best defensive player we had on that 2002 and 2003
Yeah, he
team.
was. He was good. He was the one who snapped in Minnesota, yelled at Rhonda.
Oh.
That's when they were losing. They won 9 in a row, and then they lost a couple, and it was all in rally because that defense couldn't stop anybody. That's
Really quick, can you guys just, I know we got to go, just these 2 texts from 2 numbers. Dolphins are the Royals?
No, because the Royals have won playoff games.
Yeah.
The Dolphins don't win playoff games, and they lose every time
the
they play a
Dolphins
good
haven't
team.
been a relevant franchise since 1972.
Yeah.
What? They were relevant when Marino threw for 5,050.
They haven't won anything. I mean, they've not won anything since 1972. And Marino's rookie year was 84.
I was going to say, and honestly, fine, 1984.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Ray Finkel tried to take
That's
Snowflake away from the Dolphins. That was 94. But yeah, no, the Dolphins and the Royals are the same. I would say the Royals and the Steelers are the same. That's your comp for the good defense, starting pitching, but stay above 500 and then get to the playoffs. Maybe win one round and then the next round it's like, the Yankees.
It's a real
are
contender
intact.
now. It's I get that.
Why are we talking more about Kendall Reyes being at number 98?
Never heard of him.
Neither did I. He played in 2016 here.
That's right. Coming up on the other side, we'll dive into Jesse Rogers' mind and see what he has to say about the AL Central Royals Tigers playing the Series of the Year starting tonight in the K with Seth Lugo taking the slab. We'll talk to Jesse Rogers on the other side here on Fesco and Dusty on 96.5, The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Royals.
Hey, it's Matt Quattrero, and you're listening to Fesco and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan.
Men, is good enough really what you want with your sex life? This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if erectile dysfunction is making a bad bedroom experience for you and your partner, you should call us because you want your intimacy to be fantastic, both for you and the one you love. At Heartland Men's Health, our treatments have success rates of well over 90%. And because we're a medical practice focused on men's sexual health, we can offer many treatment options and even combine treatments to find the right one for you. Which means if you're like most of our patients, we can likely get you performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment and make a change from good enough to really good. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices to serve you. Heartland Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Hey, you! Wouldn't a Diet Coke at 7 a.m. totally hit? You know you can get that from Wendy's for just $1, right? Even you, girl drinking a Fanta on the way to 8 a.m. Pilates class. Any soda you want, any size, just $1. So go get that breakfast soda, you morning menace. But maybe hurry, 'cause it's only during breakfast. Morning soda? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours. Exclusions apply. Not valid in a combo. Prices may be higher in Hawaii.
It's the trip and the game of a lifetime. Join the Red Kingdom in Sao Paulo, Brazil, as Kansas City takes on their division rivals from L.A. on September 5th. True Fan Travel is taking die-hard fans on an unforgettable 6-night adventure across Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo with authentic local experiences and exclusive events, all filled with beaches, music, food, football, and much more. Whether you're a seasoned traveler or it's your first international game, you'll explore, connect, and rep KC like never before. Learn more at truefantravel.com.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today.
Dial 877-WEB-NOW-1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/score. That's ethos.com/score.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things. People. Love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Get ready for summer's heat with a $69 AC tune-up from Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. Our expert technicians will make sure your system is working at peak efficiency to help you save money on energy costs. At Hamilton, we know how important your family's comfort is. Our exceptional service guarantee, plus over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. CordellCordell.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
East side 70 westbound slows briefly around Jackson Avenue with construction up in the left lane. 435 westbound moves pretty well. Just a brief slowdown from Warnell to the state line. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Back here on Fesco and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan. Got a big series coming up this weekend. Detroit Tigers are in town, the big bad boys of baseball right now, the number one team in baseball. Coming to Kansas City this weekend, we now go to Jesse Rogers, who covers MLB and the White Sox and Cubs on ESPN.com. Jesse, what do you think about this series against the Royals and the Tigers this weekend for 3?
Well, you better hope, if you're a Royals fan, that Scooble is a little spent after his complete game last time out, because he is really good. That's, of course, when you're going to face the Tigers, the first thing you look at is Scooble going to be pitching. So maybe he's shortened up a little bit, although he didn't throw that much in a complete game last time. So that's the first thing I think of. The other thing I think of when I see Kansas City play is can they hit a couple home runs to win a series, or is it all on their pitching staff? We know Detroit can pitch. Detroit can pitch, not just Scooble. So can Kansas City hit a few balls over the wall? Can they do a little bit of damage? I know it's harder there at home than on the road, but Kansas City has to find some power if they're going to do anything in the AL Central this year.
All right, let's talk about that from a global baseball perspective too, Jesse, because you cover it obviously for ESPN, been around the game for a while. It just seems to me that baseball from an offensive standpoint is completely down everywhere in baseball this year, not just here in Kansas City.
Well, it is and it isn't. I'm based in Chicago. I'm seeing the Chicago Cubs in the best offense in baseball. They do work, and if you watch the Yankees or Dodgers, there's plenty of offense. So it just depends on where you're looking. But yes, overall, they're always trying to get more offense into the game. And there are spurts, there are moments where there is. I don't know what the league average is these days, but I feel like it's probably a little bit better than it's been. But that's still a depressed part of baseball overall. It does feel like, though, in some ways, going back to what I said about the Cubs, Dodgers, and Yankees, a lot of the great offensive players are kind of concentrated on some of the bigger market teams. I'm sure you guys have talked about that. So I think in certain markets, and certainly Kansas City is one of them, I mean, you have your one big star, Bobby Witt, right? There's a lot of these markets that have the one big star, but they don't have enough to go with it. So, I think the offense is kind of concentrated in the big markets because that's where you pay money. Where you can get around it is now that the rules have changed, speed doesn't cost, right? So Milwaukee, for example, perennially has a really fast team. They at least steal bases and, steal some runs, so to speak, that way. So that's still one way to sort of build an offense that is still kind of on the cheap side. I know Kansas City is mid-pack and stolen bases, for example. It's not just pure steals. It's just the ability to get around the bags where you can steal a few runs that way. But, the offensive slug is kind of concentrated on in the big markets.
Jesse, I want to bring this up because Saturday you will have that matchup. Tarek Skubal will go against Michael Waka, but it's more so, is Tarek Skubal versus Bobby Witt Jr. must-see TV?
Absolutely. I know, like we're talking about with these other guys, but, Witt's power hasn't been there as much. Again, not the easiest place at home to hit home runs, but Bobby Witt is a true superstar, one of the best in the game. I feel like if he had another superstar or two around him, it would certainly help. I don't feel that. I know that. You can see what Aaron Judge does to the Yankees in Chicago here, what Kyle Tucker has done to the Cubs. I mean, you need a little bit of help around you. I'm sure Bobby Witt is helping the guys around him. He needs a little help. He needs a little protection. But in general, when Bobby Witt's at the plate, I watch. I don't get up from my couch. So Skubal versus Witt is certainly must-watch TV. I love everything about Bobby Witt's game. I think he's only getting better. But I think he needs a little help around him. Batman needs a Robin, and I don't. Bobby Witt can't do it all on his own.
Yeah, there's no question he needs some help. And so let's get in some trade possibilities then, Jesse Rogers of ESPN. Like, where can the Royals start to look? Are teams going to start to wave the white flag and admit they suck at this point of the year? Are we still a little bit away from that? Like, where do we stand on the trade, and who are some possible bats that the Royals could target in the trade situation?
Yeah, so I would say that there's 3 or 4 sellers right now, right? The White Sox, the Rockies, the Marlins, and the Orioles. I do think somebody is going to jump the market. We're not even at June yet. We're a day away. So I think it's still a little bit early. But I do think that it's going to be a seller's market, that there's not going to be as many players available. The third wild card is now taking effect. I think owners see that, especially in the American League this year, 85 wins might get you in, and it pays to hold on to your players and go on a run. I mean, Kansas City's could be right there. It's one run. We saw what happened last year at the end of the year. A bunch of teams in the AL Central were able to get in. So I do think it's going to be a seller's market, and that means not a lot of great players available. Baltimore, I keep being asked, would they rip up the heart of their team? I don't think so. I think we're looking at pending free agents only in Baltimore. I don't think Gunnar Henderson's going anywhere. I don't think Anthony Rutschman is going anywhere. So you got to look at the pending free agents on teams like that. So there's a couple of hitters that would be available from Baltimore, but they're not like the main guys there. And obviously a lot of those Oriole hitters aren't hitting well. So you have to remember that the teams that are out of the race are out of the race for a reason. So the pickings might be slim. I know. I feel like I feel that way a lot on June 1st, and then things change by the end of July. There's always a couple teams that are feeling like, okay, we're really not in it. But this is the one year I think that could be different, where it really is a seller's market. I mean, is there really anybody on the Marlins, that you're interested in that would be available? I'm not sure that there are. So long story short, I don't think there's going to be that many good hitters available. But the good news is most of the time teams are looking for pitching. The contenders are looking for pitching. There's not a lot of teams, contending teams, that have that many holes on offense like Kansas City might. And there's not that many contending teams that have as good a starting staff as Kansas City. So while everybody's zigging for starting pitching, you guys could zag and look for that 1 or 2 hitters that might be available. So that's kind of my bird's eye view here on May 30th.
Jesse Rogers of ESPN.com. Let me ask you this. I'll say one name, and I'll let you have the floor. Jack Caglione.
I'll tell you one thing. Again, I'm based in Chicago. I was at the draft last year. I was not hoping, but I was thinking the White Sox should have taken him. Now, they were back-to-back picks, if I'm not mistaken, right? Caglione and Hagen Smith, I think they were back-to-back because I was like, when the White Sox passed on him, I made a note of it. So I like this kid. I like him a lot. I understand, and I know my colleague Jeff Passan wrote about it recently. I understand waiting a little bit longer. I do. But if Cam Smith can make the Astros out of camp, I think Caglione can get up here in due time. There's a lot of time. Like, May is early for anybody. But by June, mid-June, July 1st, if he's still doing what he's doing, I think it's time. A solid 3 months in the minors, okay, fine. Maybe 2.5. I get why maybe not May 1st or May 15th or even May 30th. But, yes, I think you got to – for a team that is dead last in home runs, has only hit 8 at home all season, I think you got to let this guy off the leash and see what he can do. So, absolutely, yes, I get waiting, but there's got to be a moment where, okay, it's time. He's ready. I know you don't want to do the up and down thing, but many guys come up, and look, after a month or two, he looks over match, you set him down once. I think you give him that shot. And if he fails, fine. One fail. You just don't want to go up and down, because that messes with the guy's head. But he hasn't had that first chance yet. So I think it should be coming. I have no inside information if it is.
When you look at a guy like Caglione and see what he's doing in the minor leagues, how do you anticipate that translating to the big league level? How do you foreshadow, I guess, or project when you watch a minor league prospect like that into the big leagues?
Well, I think the power absolutely does. Now, I haven't looked at his strikeout to walk ratio. That's a decent indication of what he's doing in the minors. If that is in order, then that's a really good sign to bring him up. And I'm actually punching up his numbers right now to look at what he has. What is he? 37 strikeouts, 19 walks. That's a decent ratio for a slugger. That tells me that he's kind of got the strike zone in order. Look, young guys are never going to have more walks than strikeouts unless that's all they do in their game. The guy's got power. Power hitters are going to whiff. I like that strikeout to walk ratio. I haven't certainly watched enough of him, and that was the AA numbers. I know the AAA's shorter time span. I haven't watched enough of him to use my eyes and say, oh, he's ready. This will translate fine. But the power will. I've talked to enough scouts. Like I said, I was at the draft. I was doing my due diligence there, and I loved everything about him coming out. So he has not disappointed. It's just, again, 9 games at AAA. So I think it's going to happen, just a little bit more time. I know everybody wants to fast forward this thing. You can't fast forward things. You got to trust the hierarchy that, look, they know they need power. The Royals front office knows they need power, so you got to trust it. Now, if we get into late July and August and this team is struggling, he's mashing it down there, well, then you start to question why he's not up. But I would think he's going to be up in short order, meaning within a month.
Yeah, so last one here for you, Jesse. We appreciate you joining the show. Jesse Rogers, ESPN.com. Who's the biggest name that could get the biggest return out of the Royals pitching staff?
If they decide to move one of those guys, yeah. I mean, that would be an interesting move to trade from your strength and one that could get you. I mean, one of the young guys. I mean, obviously Cameron's off to a great start. Who else is? Who am I thinking of? Bubic. That's the name. Because they're not going to trade Lugo or Waka or whatever. Bubic or Cameron if they really wanted to, right? Mm-hmm. It's not something I was thinking trading from your starting staff, a major league for major league trade. You don't see that very often. You all of a sudden you do that. You trade Bubic, and then there's an injury on the staff, and you go from a strength to a weakness. I mean, I think if starting pitching is your strength, you don't turn away from it. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. I would, if you want to unload the farm system, fine. But I guess Bubic, but I'm not positive, which one necessarily gets you the most, because I don't think it's something that the Royals should do.
No doubt about it. Jesse, we appreciate the time. Thank you for doing what you do, and keep up the good work, and enjoy the weekend.
You got it, guys. Be well. Take care.
You bet.
Thanks, Jesse. That's some interesting stuff at the end. That really opened my eyes a little bit. Like, that's an angle that I really wasn't considering, was the injury aspect of things.
Yeah,
and he wouldn't trade, one of the starters in the rotation, where I would say now's the time, because as he mentioned, it's going to be a seller's market, right? There's not a lot of guys out there that are going to be traded from a power hitting standpoint that you can get. So acquiring one of those guys, that's why they made that effort in the offseason. I know that the name keeps coming up and he's not playing well in Santander, but this wasn't something that the Royals went blindly into the season saying, we're going to be great offensively. They knew in December, January, when they were making offers to guys like that, like Santander, that they needed a bat in the lineup. And now it's good that they didn't sign him to that money, because he's playing terribly right now in Tampa. Obviously, it doesn't mean he'd be playing terribly here, but you know how it is. We look at the numbers and we see, thank God, we didn't sign that guy. But this, again, I keep stressing, like, the Royals knew that they needed a bat. They knew that they needed more power in that lineup. They knew they needed somebody to protect Bobby Witt. They weren't able to get the job done in the offseason, and that's okay. Sometimes you just can't make some things work. But it makes it harder now, after listening to Jesse, to potentially go out and get that coveted bat that you need in addition to Jack Caglione in this lineup. And he's a baseball savant. I am not, but I also understand you got a very big weakness and a very big strength. Weakening your strength just a little bit to make that weakness stronger, I think it may be worth it from trading a starting pitcher. Where do you feel on that one?
I mean, I like what he says. You don't get away from your strengths.
I know, but and pitching does win in the postseason, but you have to make sure you get to the postseason.
Yeah, and I mean, again, the anomaly out there is Caglione, because if he does come up in 2 weeks and he does produce and he is that sort of force, I'm not saying he's going to come up here and hit 30 home runs and hit 295 and all that sort of stuff, but if he gives you that spark in your lineup where everybody kind of starts to relax a little bit more, because we all know that hitting is all about relaxing. That's what they tell you when you're a kid. You go up to the plate, hey, just relax. Just go up there and swing the bat, see the ball, hit the ball, right? That's what they tell you.
See ball, hit ball.
I know it gets more complicated the older you get, but if a guy comes up and he's 22, and there's a guy in the lineup who's 33, and he's going, how come this guy's so calm, cool, and collected? I'm going to take some of that riz, and I'm going to use it myself and try to make things even out. It's what, I forget who told us it when Bobby Witt Jr. was hitting and doing all, it was Cutrero. He was saying, hey, when Bobby's going through that hitting streak, other people see this, it kind of picks up their game.
Yeah.
I'd be heartbroken if they did trade Bubic or a guy like Noah Cameron, but I would be heartbroken if they missed the playoffs.
Right.
So...
and that's what you have to look at. Like, is this team right now capable of making the playoffs? Yes. Would it be more capable of making the playoffs with a bat in the lineup? You bet it would be. And you do, like, the Royals really do have I hate to use the term surplus, because you never have a surplus of pitching, but they really have a nice stacked rotation where they can afford. Because once you get in the playoffs, then your rotation pretty much shrinks to 3 guys. And if you could go into the postseason, say you do trade Bubic, but you have Lugo, Waka, and Cole Reagans as your top 3, like you did last year, and then your 4th guy could potentially be Noah Cameron in that rotation. I feel good about that. I do. I would take the hit right now on the rotation to make sure that I got the bat. You need the bat for the regular season. You need the rotation for the postseason.
Speaking of somebody that's going to be excited for the postseason next year, if this happens, Max sent me a DM on Twitter. The Boston Celtics will be one of the biggest teams going after Giannis in the offseason.
It's crazy to me.
Would you love it?
Why is it crazy to you? They're a big market team. He's a big market star. It's all about cachet. It's all about stars. It's all about TV ratings.
They're going to want something from Boston.
Yeah, because I didn't think Jaylen Brown was up to trade, and that's what that would take.
Oh, you think it would?
Really? Yeah, I mean, what else? I
don't know, all the picks, like we just trade every pick in the NBA. Pick in 2037 or something like that. You know?
The Thunder have 4 first-round picks. They're not going to be able to trade any of them. No one's going to be like, whereas in the NFL, if you had 4 first-round picks, what could you get?
Why is that in the NBA? There's not enough good players?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like, do you want 4 rookies on your team?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
and on a 12-man roster.
On a 12-man roster, yeah, I don't want...
That's why they trade picks in 2050.
Exactly. You're like, 2050? Yeah, we'll look at that.
Sweet.
Yeah, exactly.
2050 gets you and you go, man, I wish we didn't make that trade in 2025.
It is the weekend coming up, guys. We turn 2 things that we plan to do this weekend. Mac, what are you turning to this weekend?
Well, Hannah's got a big test today. So first off, good luck to her. She starts in an hour and a half. Very, very excited for her. I know she's nervous, but she studied hard. She's going to kill it. She's going to pass it. And then we're going to celebrate tonight. We'll have some dinner. We'll hang out. And we'll binge Game of Thrones this weekend.
Very nice.
What season are you on?
We're on 2. You know, I haven't swiped right on 500 Men.
Yeah. Season 2.
That's season 2.
So Ned's gone.
Yeah.
He's in Atlanta at the farm.
Ned's gone. Yeah, Ned's gone.
And Littlefinger's doing his magic.
Wow.
And dragons are coming.
They've been born.
Yes, it's happening.
She survived the burning tent.
And Hannah's loving it.
Khaleesi.
It's a little much. There's a lot of nudity, a lot of sex. So that sometimes it's just like which even for me, I'm just like, okay, it's a lot. But it's great. Yeah, wow, for sure. But yeah, that's my weekend.
That's
What about
good. Good for her, man. Good
Shout
luck
out
passing
to
that
Hannah.
test.
Yes, she's
this
gonna kill
weekend.
it. She's gonna
Praise
do great.
be. Good luck.
Yes.
Knock that thing out, and then Mac
know
will
she's
have
nervous,
some.
but
Mac
she
will have
doesn't
some
need
surfsides on ice for you when you get home.
Yeah, we'll have something
Yeah.
for you ready to go. I'll tell you.
I've swiped right on 500 men.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So clear.
Bobby, what do you got going on this weekend?
Not that. Today, as soon as the show's over, headed to the lake. Little retreat going out on the boat with Ralph and Michelle and my wife, having ourselves a good old time. I think it's Lake Tonganasti. I'm not sure what lake. You mentioned the lake in Kansas. I think it's Lake Tonganasti. I don't know.
Can I go there? I'd like to see some nasty out there, baby.
Yeah,
Come
I'll
on.
tell you what. So as soon as we get here, right to the lake, get on a boat all afternoon, and enjoying ourselves, go out to dinner. And then tomorrow's the big day. The big day is tomorrow because our friend Diane Houston is honored as a distinguished alum at Grandview High School.
Nice.
Where she teaches. They're honoring her tomorrow as the distinguished alum. So we're going to her alumni breakfast tomorrow morning and celebrate Diane for being a great teacher that she is, a great human being that she is.
That's awesome.
So Grandview, very lucky to have her as a teacher, which one of the kids last night at C10 is like, his teacher's Diane Houston, right? And he says, he goes, I go to Grandview. I go, you know Miss Houston? He goes, uh-oh, I know Miss Houston. I go, oh, do you? I go, let me call her right now. He's like, huh?
He's like, no, don't
I'm
do
like,
that.
Diane, do you know so-and-so? She's like, yeah. I go, why are you, how's he doing in your class or whatever? She's like, all right, you know who I'm talking to, right? So it kind of shocked the kid a little bit that I called her Steve, but she's an unbelievable teacher, an unbelievable human being, deserves every honor that she gets, and I'm excited to kind of celebrate her tomorrow. And then we're going to head to Martin City Brewery in Martin City afterwards and celebrate Diane even more. So we're going to have ourselves a time on Saturday.
Get the Caesar salad.
By 3 o'clock, we'll probably be in bed.
That's not a bad Saturday.
No, it's not. Really good old man Saturday.
That's ideal. You're waking up Sunday fresh,
baby. Or Saturday night going, all right, what time? 11 o'clock on Saturday night. Let's kick it off.
Let's rally.
No doubt about it. That's tight. I love the lake. That's a great weekend.
Yeah, the lake.
Lake day, day drinking Saturday.
Friday at the lake in the early afternoon to mid-afternoon, some cheese and
best.
crackers, and who knows what else is going to happen out there. And then just you're back, have some dinner. You're back at a reasonable time, and everybody's feeling good and ready to go for the entire weekend. And it's going to be sunny, so you get the opportunity to be outside too, which is very important, especially for that mental health, which I will take care of after the show as well.
Yep, got to do that. Got to take care of yourself.
Every day after the show, I take care of my mental health now, and it's really important for everybody. And when people say, "What do you mean mental health?" It's exercise. I don't exercise for the physical as much as I do for the mental health side of things. It helps you escape. It helps you calm down. It helps you relax. I will not sacrifice that for anything anymore in my life. It's too important.
Nice. I'm not going on a boat, nor do I have a fiance to pass a test. But Saturday at the Omaha Storm Chasers game, where Gold and I will be, your boy throwing out the first pitch.
That's
Let's
awesome.
go.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So doing the opposite
cool.
of Cags. I started off throwing out the first pitch at the K. Now I'm going down to Omaha to throw out the first pitch. So Caglione will be there. Alex had mentioned it yesterday. They asked both of us to do it. Alex said no. I've done it. Yeah, he said he's done it once. He was too embarrassed to do it again because of the last time. He goes, I was internet famous in all the wrong ways. You can imagine.
Oh, my God. Well, I've seen Alex run, and that's why we called him Forrest Gold for a while. And it was Cody and Gump.
That's right.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, they asked us on Alex had tweeted out and said that we were going to be out there, and they said that you guys are going to come down to the game. We're like, yeah, we'll be there Friday and Saturday. They said, any interest in throwing out the first pitch? I sent back the meme of I'm just loosening up my arm. So I'll throw to their mascot.
Well, that'll be cool.
I asked
So
if I could throw to Cags. They said absolutely not. We've heard what you said about him. There's no way you're getting in within a 10-yard radius of Jack Caglione. So that'll be fun. And then I'm going to visit Omaha for the first time. So knocking two birds out with one stone.
Yeah.
I've never been to Omaha. We're missing the College World Series by that much. So
It's close. You can drive back up for the day, like I told you yesterday, and you should do that. To hell
maybe
with
we
it.
will.
On a Friday after work, drive up, watch a game, come back.
So Omaha will be fun. We're going to be out there tonight. As soon as Gold show's over, he gets shotgun, and we drive straight to Omaha. We go straight to Warner Park, watch the game, watch Cags do his thing. Guarantees going to hit a home run. That other station he went 0 for 5. This station he goes 4 for 4 with a home run.
That's the power of the FM.
That's
really
what it is. Our call reaches everywhere. So then
Can you
I'm
bet
excited.
on
No, I don't think you can bet on Omaha.
on it.
Nebraska. Yeah, no.
Nebraska's got gambling, I think.
Do they?
I think they
but
do.
you can bet on like minor league baseball.
No.
Oh, okay, that's what I was saying. You can't bet on the Storm Chasers. That's what I was asking.
Yeah, I mean, I could do a deep dive look, but I don't think there is that opportunity. But I'm excited. Jake
maybe Iowa has the gambling.
Gotcha.
Illinois does for sure. But no, Jake Eisenberg was at that event last night, said that he's going to be on Cody and Gold today, going to give him all the pointers to go and where to go. I've had some people reach out as well on Twitter and tell me where to go. So Saturday got a lot of time to kill. Got to be good, though. Got to make sure I make a good first pitch in front of the AAA crowd. So it should be fun in Omaha this week.
There's a bridge where you can walk across the river to Iowa. You should do that.
Oh, yeah. Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. Why not?
Okay.
What the hell?
Maybe that's where Gold and I'll go. Who knows?
And then all of a sudden, we don't know where Alex is.
Me and Gold like peas and carrots.
Alex is in Iowa. Dusty's in Nebraska. Because the casinos are in Iowa.
Bob won't know where he is at that point on Saturday.
What time is that going to be on
About,
Saturday?
3 o'clock.
No, no clue.
Yeah, dude.
Nope, no
Coming
idea.
up, there was a tweet out there the other day. It was the best feelings of a man. It's a pretty good list, and we give you some more. And feel free to chime in 913-586-7965. The best feelings of a man here on 96.5 The Fan. Your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty. Make sure to follow us on Instagram @TheFan965 for behind-the-scenes content from the show. Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, Missouri sports fan, the Underdog app is now available to play in the state of Missouri, and that is great news because you can go yard all baseball season long with Underdog's Champions Game. Underdog is a leading place to make all of your sports selections, and you can play now in the state of Missouri. And their app has over 100,000 five-star reviews and millions of players. To play, it's simple. Just download the app and then choose whether a player will go higher or lower on one of their stats. And you can choose from things like home runs, strikeouts, total bases, and so much more. And playing on Underdog is a can of corn. Just choose higher or lower like I do, and it's so much fun. Or even more like I do, combining entries from multiple sports into one selection. A basketball one here, a baseball one there. Once football season gets going, you got football selections as well. And once that entry feels good, you can play with as little as $1, and if you get everything right, you could win up to 1,000 times your money. So download the Underdog app now. Sign up with promo code BOB. Unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit with promo code BOB. Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
In the moments that matter most, you show up. You protect, you serve, you heal, you care. Now, let Reiselman Nissan show up for you with our Hero Appreciation Program. Kansas City's heroes get special discounts every single day. Choose from over 160 new Nissans with Kicks, Sentras, and Altimas starting as low as $399 a month because honoring you is our privilege. Visit ReiselmanNissan.com. Every customer, every time. Reiselman Nissan.
Not all vehicles may apply. See dealer or check ReiselmanNissan.com for all details.
Losing your family's home movies and photos would be devastating. That's why Legacy Box exists, to preserve your family's recorded moments digitally, ensuring they're safe forever. Think of the time and money your family invested to capture family vacations, birthdays, even your wedding. Recording a lifetime of memories was a commitment. Camcorders cost thousands, and cameras required film and development. Legacy Box is the final step to preserve your family's past. Thankfully, it doesn't require another big investment. Legacy Box is safe, simple, and affordable. Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box to convert their analog media to digital. You owe it to your family to safeguard your memories. Become your family's hero and save them before it's too late. For a limited time, Legacy Box is offering an exclusive discount when you go to legacybox.com/value. That's legacybox.com/value.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/score. That's ethos.com/score.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side 29 southbound slows briefly as you cross over into the downtown loop. 71 northbound, you may see a slowdown approaching Gregory. Otherwise, things move pretty well all around the metro. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Oh, yeah. Keep the recommendations coming, baby, on the text line. 913-586-7965. Going to be in Omaha this weekend. Got to leave right after the 2 o'clock show. So it should be good. Can't wait. I'm excited to go to Omaha. Somebody says there is a piece of Iowa. So like what you had mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Lazy Buffalo Barbecue in Omaha is my cousin's spot. It's delicious.
What's Omaha? The Reuben was invented in Omaha. I know that. But other than that, like, what's the food option in Omaha? Because I was telling you we're going to Detroit next week for our baseball trip, right? We'll be up there for watch the Tigers. I think it's the Tigers and Cubs, actually. And you're like, oh, you got to get the Detroit pizza, right? You got to take those off. You look like a fool. Come on. I can't look at you. You look like some guy from the 1950s with women's glasses on. Like, are those women's glasses?
Maybe. You better believe it. I don't know.
They're women's frames. You look like Costanza.
Yeah, maybe.
Take them off. I mean, they look ridiculous. Don't they look ridiculous, Mac? I mean, they really
kind of
do.
nice, though, right? Check it out on the stream. Let me know how you feel.
You look like a lady's, like you're wearing ladies' glasses.
Dude looks like a lady. Yeah.
What a great song by that. That song fits perfect too for that.
It's great.
I could do the. I feel like the warden in Shawshank.
A little bit, but
am I being too obtuse?
Yeah, you are. You are absolutely for me anyway. What a great movie.
It's fantastic. Mac's never seen it.
No.
I'm joking.
You haven't seen Shawshank?
No, it's one of my favorites.
Oh, okay.
From the 913, good morning, guys. It's Bryson. Don't get to listen often because of school, but now it's summer. Going to be a wonderful day when you wake up to Dusty's beautiful, angelic voice on your radio alarm. Okay. Love you guys. Signed, Bryson.
Summer.
School's out for summer. I'm glad the kids still play that song. My buddy Johnny went out on his boat in Lottawanna, and they had their kids playing the blow-up guitars, and it was the School's Out for Summer. Alice
that's
Cooper.
awesome.
School's out for summer.
No doubt.
Omaha is renowned for its steaks and the Reuben sandwich.
I told you the Reuben, yeah.
So steaks,
but I mean, steaks you can get anywhere. I mean, I don't need to go to Omaha to get a piece of meat.
He looks like Squints from The Sandlot.
Yeah, it's a good comparison too. Yeah,
they've got a spaghetti factory in Omaha.
It's the only one left, I think. No, it's not the spaghetti factory. It's the spaghetti warehouse. And I went there in '98. It's like an Omaha thing. You think it's the spaghetti factory. It's the spaghetti warehouse. The last time I was in Omaha was '98. I was dating a girl. She lived in Nebraska. It sucked. Not the restaurant, just the whole relationship. But I forget what I was saying. But yes, they do have that. Like, everybody talks about the spaghetti. Because and the only reason I know is because I looked it up a couple of weeks ago because Jen and I are going to stop in Omaha. We're going to North Dakota, her and I, one day because it's the only state in the lower 48. And so we're going to stop at Omaha on the way back.
You haven't been to yet?
Yeah. So we're going to stop at Omaha on the way back. I was looking at restaurants and things. And that old spaghetti warehouse or whatever it is. It
used to be the old spaghetti factory.
But it's warehouse. It's different than I think. And I think it's only in Omaha. But everybody talks about that place like it is the mecca of restaurants in Omaha.
Somebody says Peyton Manning's from Omaha. And then from Andrew on Twitter, he says Block 16 in Omaha. This is not a passive suggestion. This is a must. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Jake Eisenberg, who will be on with Cody and Gold today, said that as well. We saw a tweet on the X sphere that said the top best 5 feelings as a man. Number 1. Razor on the back of the neck during a haircut. Shout out Courtney Brothers. They do that all the time. Mike Courtney, you are a G when it comes to the razor. It's
that is a good feeling.
Oh, and it's that hot foam on the back of your neck. The physical touch of a woman.
No doubt.
I don't know what that is. Someone yelling, "He's a shooter" when playing pickup hoops. That was me, baby. That was the fat guy in the court that had a
yelled
J.
that, or you?
No, I was the
about
shooter.
You. Okay.
Because I just stood in the corner and waited for the ball. And then I'd hit it, and they'd be like, "Get that guy! He's a shooter." And then I was done.
Last guy I worked with did the same thing on the basketball floor. Stand around and wait. Like, we don't want to run.
Number 4, your team winning a title. Great feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, after the night, you're streaking naked. Mac did it. That's a fact. And then the first drink after a long day / week. Bob, you know what that's like on the boat
About
today.
11 o'clock, yeah. Damn right, yeah.
Is there anything he's missing is the question.
It's a great list.
Pretty solid.
It's a really, really, really good list. I think one of the good feelings is like when you're finished with all your household chores, yard work, and it's a Saturday afternoon in the summer and you just kind of sit down, crack open a beer, drink, whatever it is.
So good.
That is a great feeling for guys.
Sun's still out.
So yeah, it's about 2 or 3 o'clock. You know, you get that's why I get up early. Like a lot of times on the weekend, I'm done with everything by noon. I'm like, I got nothing else to do today. I finished everything.
Great
I got up
feeling.
at 6 o'clock.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Like, let's go. I got what else am I got to do now?
Get that
Right? Kids are
tequila
driving
out.
themselves. I got nowhere to go. What the hell? Sit on the back porch, right? Enjoy yourself.
Get that nice tequila out and pour you a little sipper there.
Yep.
Smoky stuff.
Oh, yeah. So I put a few on there. I think you guys did too. I told Mac this during the break. I said that 5-minute stare at your lawn after it's mowed.
It's true.
Oh, man. After I mow my lawn, every
feeling,
time I got the Forrest Gump stance with my hands around my hips. And I'm just like, I did that.
Yeah. See, now I get to just admire Aspen's work. I'm like,
Right.
you guys did great. Here, have a
No
beer.
doubt.
Way to go, Aspen.
Shower beer after that stare.
Yes.
As
Shower
well.
the yard work.
Who was the one who told us they didn't like? That's right, Spectre.
Come on.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because I actually don't like that at all. It's
You know what I
actually
really like? I like a nice Chianti and a nice restaurant with linen paper towels and cloths and 6 forks, and I know what every one of those forks is used for.
Another
Thanks,
one of
Steven.
the,
Go back to your office.
Yes. Yeah. Shower beer, it gets water in it and soap. You don't care.
Steam and
Who the hell cares?
Yeah.
Usually you're having a shower beer because A, you're getting ready to roll, or B,
You're a
you just had
degenerate.
it. You just had a long work in the yard or whatever it is.
Oh,
And it's
man.
nice.
There ain't nothing better. The smell of early charcoal burning
that
is great
that
too.
is
You
awesome,
like that fire underneath that starts to
Yeah.
smoke, and you know that there's like 6 other people around your area going, Someone's
grilling.
Yeah.
Somebody's
for sure.
grilling. Like men just come out of their houses.
Yes, exactly.
They hear the lawnmower, they smell a grill. Oh, where's that at?
You remember the old
Bill
cartoon?
grilling?
You remember the old cartoons where the pie be on the windowsill and you see the
Yeah.
guys float? That's the modern charcoal
Yeah,
smell.
that's the dad in the suburbs when they smell certain things. Yeah.
Bob's cooking Johnsonville brats.
Yeah.
You got a few on there as well?
What else was there? Oh yeah, hearing your dad say that he's proud of you is a good one.
Yeah, I've said that to you a lot.
Yeah, well, you have said that. It feels good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it feels good when you know, man that you respect, a mentor, your father just says, "Hey, man, good job."
Who put the
Huge.
dog jumping into your lap out of nowhere?
That was me too.
It's a great one because Winnie, when I come home, she comes up and presses her face against mine
Oh,
all the
yes.
time, and you can't move.
No, not with that dog.
Not moving. And she's there, and she wants that loving. And she's been really, like I've talked about the mental health stuff earlier. We got her right as COVID started. I don't know that I survived COVID without that dog.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I survive every day without that dog. She knows when I need a little zen. I'll sit down
100%.
anytime I start
Well,
to
Ralph
raise my
left you some.
voice. What's that?
I said Ralph left you a
Yeah,
little
Ralph did leave the Zins. Yeah.
6 millis too, man. Take care.
But salute to Ralph.
Yeah.
But she knows how to calm me down. It's an unbelievable feeling, really, like that she knows and senses, he's in a mood. Let me get there. Let me put my face again. And I'm done. It's a great feeling.
It's an amazing feeling. I totally empathize with that. I got Copper when I moved to Wyoming, straight during COVID, middle of nowhere, and I got her. And huge, best friend, dude.
Yeah.
Bob texted into the text sign, peeling potatoes alone while drinking a Tank 7 for a big family meal before the in-laws get there and ruin the quiet.
That's awesome.
I know that feeling, right? I don't have
Peel
in-laws.
the
but, like,
potatoes, though, man. That's got good nutrients in it. Save the time.
cold beer after a mow is phenomenal. You ain't lying.
Yeah.
Sticking the green on a par 3 is very nice. Hitting a great golf shot, very nice. I didn't mean to text this to the group.
I was like, did Dana text in?
Yeah. From the 620, the birth of a child. I don't know that feeling either. But
Except the smell of the.
okay.
No, because Jen had C-sections, and I went the first time I went there. I go, "What in the hell is that smell?" And the doctor's like, "That's like the smell of the body here."
That's right.
What is it? Oh, airport beer on the way to vacation.
Oh.
The airport beer is a great feeling. The best part about the airport beer, it doesn't matter what time it is.
Nope.
No,
6 a.m.? Man, what the hell?
Oh, I have a
I'll have
flight
one.
in July. I'm going to the Gulf Shores for a week, so I won't be here. You guys knew that, but I'm going to be flying out at 8 a.m., getting there at 6:30. Better believe there will be a drink in my hand.
Hell
Remember when
yeah.
you showed up to the airport?
Bars better be open at that time,
Matt showed up to the
too.
airport, went to New Orleans. He goes, 3 already. I was like, shh, don't tell Bob. No, that is great. Feelings of a man. Coming up on the other side, it is our Richard of the Week. 913-586-7965. Maybe you have one. Richard of the Week, brought to you by Surfside Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka, proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Each can of Surfside is only 100 calories, and the best part is zero bubbles. Zero bubbles for zero troubles, and zero glasses for the rest of the show. Just for Bob, here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Hey, it's Michael Waka, and you're listening to Fesco and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
Tiger, dragon, do you have what it takes to win? Be fierce like the tiger, strong like the dragon. Only the brave will survive.
Yeah, that's not how these games work. With Tiger and Dragon from the Kansas Lottery, you can win up to $125,000 or $100K in a second chance drawing.
You are weak.
Ouch. It's not a video game. It's better. Play Tiger and Dragon instant games from the Kansas Lottery.
Let's play.
Yeah, that works. See kslottery.com for details.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure where to start? Selling a home can feel overwhelming, especially if you're facing foreclosure, a divorce, an inherited property you don't want, or just need to move quickly. But you don't have to figure it out alone. Rex Buys KC is here to help. As a local home buyer, I understand the Kansas City market inside and out. My family and I live right here, so I know the neighborhoods, the trends, and the challenges homeowners face. That's why I take a consultative approach, helping you explore your options and find the best path forward. We buy houses in any condition, no need for repairs, no agent commissions, and no hidden fees. You'll receive a fair cash offer with a closing timeline that works for you. Whether that's in as little as 7 days or at your own pace, just a simple, hassle-free process designed around your needs. If you're ready to talk through your options, call me today at 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Let's find the right solution for you. Rex Buys KC. Local, fair, and focused on you.
Summer savings are here at Going Gone by Dick's Sporting Goods. Score up to 70% off styles from top brands like Nike, Adidas, Jordan, Kalia, and more. Discover new markdowns and arrivals every week. Hurry in and save big on summer styles at your Going Gone.
Here is your Game of the Week, presented by Hyundai. Playoffs in professional basketball have brought some crazy stories and headlines. None crazier than the matchup of the 2 best young guards facing off for a chance at a title. Minnesota and Oklahoma City each have their own MVP caliber guard who looks to carry their team to their first ever championship. Who will come out on top in this exciting series for the future of the league? Do you think astronauts fight over elbow room? Probably, because advanced tech doesn't always mean more space. Until now. Introducing the Hyundai Ioniq 9, a 3-row electric SUV with over 300 miles of range, ultra-fast charging capability, and lots of space. The all-new Hyundai Ioniq 9. Space in an EV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call call 562-314-4603 for more details. PA estimated range for Ioniq 9 based on fully charged battery. For comparison purposes only. Actual range will vary based on several factors. Introducing the all-electric Ioniq 9. Space for up to 7. Range for miles.
Royals coverage sponsored by Border Magic. We've got the edge for your landscaping edging needs.
Boost your curb appeal and add value with custom concrete landscape edging from Border Magic. Choose from a huge variety of styles and colors, all backed by a 10-year warranty. A cost-effective way to give your home that wow factor. Get started now at southkcbordermagic.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
East side, 70 westbound, a little slow from Van Brunt over towards Jackson Avenue, getting into that construction zone. Kansas side, 435 eastbound, a bit slow, approaching Metcalf. Allen Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Have you watched Die Royal Decree? How about Chiefs Take Tuesday? Or would you rather Wednesday? Follow us on Instagram at TheFan965 for exclusive video content, giveaways, and behind-the-scenes action. 96.5 The Fan, KFMZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Back here on 96.5 The Fan. Shout out Scott Parks. Good guy. Love that guy. But it is a Friday, last hour, 59 minutes away until Bob is on a boat. I'm on a boat.
I'm on a boat.
Will you let Ralph play that?
I'm sure he'll already have that on the playlist.
Okay.
Ralph's good when it comes to the playlists.
He's just hitting up, he's just living his best life, man. Nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing at all.
Does Ralph do the tunes at the tailgate?
We go in together on that. Sometimes I'll put together a list. Most of the
Gotcha.
time, it's usually him that's putting together a
Yeah,
list.
it's usually.
You can feel free to contribute songs as well. Send them in to rmiller@tailgatemusic.com, and he'll put it on the tailgate list. Yeah,
it's usually bangers.
Nice.
Everything sounds good in a parking lot, though.
That's pretty true.
All right, let's get to it. Richard of the Week. Nice.
Oh, Richard, I'm so happy. Hold me.
Richard of the Week.
Not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Richard of the Week, Friday at 9 o'clock, brought to you by Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka, proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Each can of Surfside is only 100 calories, and the best part, 0 bubbles. They're fantastic. Just ask Matt.
They
Just
are
ask
great.
Bob.
They're phenomenal.
good.
Yeah. Who doesn't love them?
It's funny. I went to my buddy's house on Sunday over the holiday weekend, and 3 different people came in and said, "Thanks a lot, Dusty," and they were holding a Surfside. I said,
That's great.
It's paying off.
Heck yes,
I was
that's
like,
awesome.
keep sipping, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny. It's a very divided crowd. You're either like Team Tea or Team Lemonade.
I think you're right about that. 100%. I'm Team T.
Yeah, I like the peach tea and
Yep.
the Arnold Palmer one they have. Like those two
Yeah,
on
half and half's great.
on a patio or like on a hot day.
They're dangerous, man. Those peach
yeah.
are so good.
Oh yeah, you suck those things down like a chili
chili
dog and
dog,
John
yep.
Mellencamp.
Mhm.
All right, Bob, who's the Richard of the Week?
Well, I figure Matt could start because that kind of leads into his
there
Richard
you
of the
go.
Week, right?
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Mine is John Mellencamp.
Suck it down and chili down.
Come
Suck it down
on,
and
dude.
chili
Like,
down.
what are we doing? If you haven't heard, John Mellencamp just being a total Richard towards Pat McAfee, who before Game 5 of the Pacers-Knicks series, they handed him the microphone. He's down courtside at the Indiana game. He's obviously a huge figure in Indiana, and he just starts talking trash to Ben Stiller, Timothy Chalamet. Nothing, no cursing, nothing dirty, just sports banter. Before a huge game, Indiana has a chance to make the finals. And John Mellencamp comes out. He didn't feel like a Hoosier that night. That's not the Indiana way. This isn't
What the
how we're
hell
supposed
does that mean? The Indiana way. It's one of the
about?
dumbest things I've ever heard. That's not the Kansas way.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
Maybe he just needs a lover that won't drive him crazy.
Oh God. You tell me you pulled up this whole discography now.
I could just go all through Mellencamp songs. I had his greatest hits as a kid.
I think we all had that. Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be mine, dude.
I listened to Pink Houses, Jack and Diane. Try that. No, that's Jason Aldean. Small Town, is that?
No, it's
I was born in a small town.
Yeah.
And I live in a small town. Take a shot of beer every time he says small town.
I just don't understand that not the Indiana way or whatever. That's so stupid. It is
I watched
so dumb.
that and I was like, this is sports. This is great.
Yeah.
This is entertainment. This is banter.
entertainment.
This is riffing. This is good. This is awesome.
I think people are having a hard time, and I think people in sports are having a hard time in understanding you better be more entertainment than sports these days.
Mm-hmm.
You had better be more entertainment than sports these days. It's no longer. I was listening to whoever was filling in for Ben Maller as I was driving. This guy's breaking down the depth chart of the Dolphins. Who the hell cares?
At 4 a.m.
Yeah, right. But Pat McAfee and getting the crowd hyped up, that's what it's about. People want to be entertained. They're paying a lot of money. You got to bring something to the party, man. You got to bring something to the party. Entertainment is where it is. Why do you think Pat McAfee's the highest rated, highest paid guy
Shouldn't he
in
know
sports media?
Shouldn't John know that?
Mellencamp? No.
Entertainment?
No,
That's your
he
thing?
Because that's his thing. He wants to go watch a game and do it the Indiana way.
Yeah, he was just trying to drop a cherry bomb. What? All right, Bob. Yeah, the Ben Maller guys. That's
the entire cast of the Ben Maller show, other than Ben Maller. I mean, Ben Maller gets these guys on a free trip to Vancouver, Canada. The entire show, free. Some listeners picking up the tab, great deal, right?
Wow.
Flying them all up there, doing the whole 9 yards. Two of the people on the Ben Maller show made dinner reservations for themselves and didn't invite Ben to go with them.
Why?
Well, they didn't think he'd like the food.
Oh.
That's crazy, dude.
So instead of asking him and letting him say no, which is the proper way to do things, they didn't even invite him. They just said, we're going here. You're not invited. He's the guy that got them this trip.
He's the trip.
He's the reason why they're on this trip.
You would be if it wasn't for me.
And they're just going to dinner and didn't invite him. That's a low rent move.
That's crazy.
I even asked him, I was like, so things are going to be all right. He goes, yeah, well, I'll see.
Who knows?
And I'm like, that's an honest answer, Ben. He's like, yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where we go from here. Like that legit pissed.
I mean, that would tick me off. I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if we did that to you, Bob, in New Orleans, if Dusty and I were just like, all right, man.
Yeah, the restaurant's in a basement. We didn't think you want to come here. Dude, just send me a text and I'll let you know. If it 90% of the time is going to be like, yeah, I'm good on that. Okay, at least you said
You
it.
got to make the offer.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's like Ben telling us we were invited to his party. He doesn't really want us there, but he's inviting.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. But yeah, I mean, it's just every time.
Every time.
Bingo card.
Oh, Josh and I used to every time. He got it.
It's my favorite. I love that he does that.
Yeah.
You got to say it.
Well, I don't know if the Dolphins are I don't know if the Dolphins are the Roses. Thanks for having me, guys. But I don't know if they're the same people.
It's great.
My Richard of the Week is...
Nah, they played harder than us, I think. I think they played harder than us. Loose balls, like rebounds, like all that. We got to be able to win that battle.
Pascal, can you make sense of it for those of us who don't play this game at this level? Like, you know what was a mistake, and you're saying they played harder than you guys. You didn't fight them hard enough. How is that possible?
What do you mean?
How is it possible to not fight hard enough in game?
What are you talking about? They played harder than us. It's okay. We played hard, but they played harder. What's your point? I don't get it.
My point is, you're saying you guys got out fought, and I'm saying
that happens in the game, though. That's basketball.
In game 5, we didn't play one. You're saying
You're good. You're good, bro.
It's awesome.
So, Richard of the Week, that reporter, and his name is who?
Guthrie.
Oh, it's Greg Doyle.
Greg Doyle.
Yeah, this guy's the one who, hit on Caitlin Clark or whatever he did with Caitlin Clark, made her feel creeped out by
now
him.
he can't cover the Indiana Fever.
Right.
Now he's 1 foot out of the door for the Indiana Pacers, who are about to maybe possibly play in the NBA championship.
Yeah, seriously.
Greg Doyle, more like Greg Boyle. You, sir, suck. You're a Richard. You make us other media members look bad. This is why athletes tend to not like us, because of people like you who are letting us have to go through all of this because they're worried about people that sit in the room. And I have talked to PR people before, and they have told me, yeah, we know the guys. Like, we know who the people are that are going to try to fish. That man, Greg Boyle, was fishing for a content of nothing. And Siakam, I thought, was great. You good, bro? Like, I told you what you wanted. I did exact. That's why Rory McIlroy doesn't want to talk to the media. And I know there's a lot of people that have an opinion about that. And I get it. Rory's a little soft, SAFWFT, soft. And he could talk. But it's because of questions like that. Like, what do you mean you didn't play hard enough? That's not what he said. He said they played harder. They were in an elimination game. You back the Wolf into the corner. The Wolf's going to be a little bit more angrier than he would be out on his own.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what happened. And you're trying to bait this guy who's a team that you cover. They know, are you good? He finds out his name, rolls his eyes, and that guy will never get another answer again. And if he does try to ask Halliburton a question if they do anything, he might do the next question.
Yeah.
That happens all the time. If you want to do that and burn your bridge, where that's one of the main entities of your job is to get a quote and to get something to build your article on or your piece on, and now you're looked at as a Richard from the athletes, and Siakam, hate to break it to you, second best player on that team. Big face of the Indiana Pacers. And now you've ruined that for yourself and maybe your organization that you work for. So Boyle, Doyle, Foyle, I don't know who you are, Richard of the Week, get out of here. Quit ruining it for others.
Yeah, and that's the point right there. He is ruining it for others, and it's always, one person that makes everybody look bad. That's just the way it works in life, right? And he's going to push it so far where they go, you know what? Sorry, no media is going to be allowed in here. And it's going to be because of that guy's fault, right? And then that cuts off the access that fans have to the players. I know a lot of teams do stuff through their own website, but it's still good to have the checks and balances of the media there to kind of keep everybody in line, with what's going on. And so there's no reason to do this kind of stuff.
No.
You were trying to bait somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That's crap. You don't do that.
Someone said what Ben Maller's teammates did to him was like Drew going to Quick Trip and not asking Bink if he wanted anything.
That's a fair point. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was just slimy from that reporter. He's trying to get him to say that he didn't try, that they weren't trying. And also, for us non-athletes, he's trying to be all nice and sincere. Shut up, man. You know what you're doing.
You know exactly what you're doing.
Pound sand.
Yeah.
Get bent.
If this guy didn't have a track record, it's one thing.
Yes.
This guy has a track record in that town, in that sport.
He tried to hit on Caitlin Clark.
I mean,
what are you doing?
Creepy, man.
Been in the league for 5 minutes and you're getting rid of the Taylor Swift heart. Travis Kelce's doing that to Taylor Swift. You ain't them. She ain't about you, bro.
She's like, yeah, I do that to my family.
Yeah, not to rando reporters.
Not to rando creep reporter guy.
You'd be better off asking for a selfie than showing a heart.
Yes.
The cover is out for NCAA College Football 26. Have you guys seen it?
I have not.
It's outstanding.
Oh, it's Jordan.
Jordan coaching.
I'm going to buy it. Did they get her approved? We're not talking about it.
Yeah, we're not talking about this. When did you know you were going to be on the Madden cover? We're not talking about this.
Yeah, that's right. That is Richard of the Week, brought to you by Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Do what Bob does, get the peach. Do what Mac does, get the Arnold Palmer version, the lemonade and TU version. But it is the proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Each can of Surfside is only 100 calories, and their best part is there are 0 bubbles. We will go back to what we heard today from the outside sources about this big matchup tonight that starts the biggest 3-game series for your Kansas City Royals. We'll get into what Scales and Rogers had to say, who joined us earlier today on 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Royals.
Fesco and Dusty. Subscribe and watch the show on YouTube by going to our channel at The Fan 965. Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5, The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control have made my life a heck of a lot easier. No longer do we have to worry about carving out time to mow the grass or to put the fertilizer down or to weed eat or mulch or anything like that, because the good folks over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control have taken care of everything for us. And it was after about 12 years of looking at my yard going, I just can't figure anything out. Now I love just walking around the yard looking at it going, man, Aspen and the college-educated professionals at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control have turned this lawn into a masterpiece. It looks awesome. And not only do I have more free time to do the things that I want, I know my grass is in good shape and it's always going to look good. And with Aspen Lawn and Pest Control, they've put up that mosquito dome. So now I don't have to waste time cutting the grass. I can sit outside and enjoy the weekend with that mosquito dome. There's no mosquito bites. There's no fleas. There's no ticks for the dogs. It's an unbelievable experience to have your yard protected and not have to worry about those bugs. The folks over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control offer full-service lawn care, irrigation, pest control, and they've been doing it since 1985, and they're going to give you up to half off your first application when you mention this ad. So expect the best. Call today or visit them at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
Do you know a coach who goes above and beyond? The Royals, the CU and the Major Leagues Foundation, and Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City are recognizing those impactful men and women. Nominate your high school coach at royals.com/coach. verizon.com/coacheswithcharacter.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit Verizon today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Not available in all states. Rates vary. Building a financial safety net for your family can be tough. But with term life insurance through Ethos, you can have peace of mind that they can pay the mortgage and other bills if something happens to you. With coverage in as little as 10 minutes, all online, Ethos finds your best rate across their multiple trusted carriers. Some policies as low as $1 a day billed monthly. And even in uncertain times, your term life insurance rates and payout don't change. Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life.
As men get older, our bodies change. We all know that. And often, we just accept the changes as the way it is. But some of those changes, such as bad sleep patterns, low sex drive, brain fog, no energy, and reduced gains in the gym, could be due to low testosterone. And that is something you can change. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And even if you're in your 30s, if you're experiencing some or all of the symptoms I just noted, you very well may need low testosterone treatment. With our treatment protocols, if you're like most men, you'll be amazed at the change. You'll have more energy, improved mental clarity, your sleep will be better, so will your workouts, and you'll likely find that your sex drive increases too. So give us a call today and make the change for good. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices to serve you. Heartland Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Warning, the national debt is spiraling out of control. Trade wars are causing record volatility, and inflation could make a devastating comeback. Will you sit on the sidelines and wait, or will you take action today to help protect your hard-earned retirement savings? And what if you could do it tax and penalty-free? Find out more by requesting your free 2025 Gold and Silver Kit from the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco. Plus, you could get an unlimited instant match on bonus silver if you qualify. Call 855-969-GOLD to learn more. That's 855-969-GOLD. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Dominate your fantasy baseball league with Fantasy Baseball Today, part of the CBS Sports Podcast Network. Join Scott White, Chris Towers, and me, Frank Stample, every weekday as we recap every player from every game. We'll get you the latest news, waiver wire adds and drops, trades to make, prospect promotions, and everything else you need to take down your league. Follow and listen to Fantasy Baseball Today on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? Call Jay Southland Tow Service, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments. They can do it all. Be in the know and call Jay's Southland Tow.
At Casey's, we're too nice to say no. So when someone asked for a free frozen drink, we said sure. Then they said every Friday all summer, and well, now we're giving away free medium frozen drinks every Friday. Free frozen Fridays with Casey's Rewards. It's not crazy, it's Casey's. See store for details.
Today, expect sunny skies with a high of 78.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples. That was easy.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Back in on Fesco and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan. Our guy back, Maury, with us as well. That guy with the sexy laugh. He's there.
We still got to plan Denny's bachelor party. We got more of that to do.
Mm-hmm.
You heard that, right? Denny Matthews getting married, got engaged in the last week to Amy. Congratulations. Found that out last night at Dayton Moore See You in the Major Leagues Foundation C10 event at Top Golf, an unbelievable event. They do a really amazing job of mentoring kids. I was glad you got to be a part of that yesterday and kind of see what we've been doing for all these years with these kids. And, my wife's a mentor for his foundation. Every Wednesday night she's there with those kids, and they're doing things that I would have given my left arm to have some opportunities that they're presenting these kids, and they turn out to be wonderful, wonderful kids. One of the kids that was walking around with us yesterday, Isaac, and he's going into music and all that kind of stuff, wants to come in and shadow us. He goes to Morehouse College down in Atlanta. Great story about him and whatnot. You get to meet so many inspiring kids, and listening to these kids have their heads on their shoulders, knowing what they want to do and what's important in life. Like, Dayton's done an amazing job. This guy hasn't been with the Royals in a couple of years, but every day Dayton Moore has an impact on Kansas City that everybody can feel. That's the kind of human being him and Marianne, his wife, and his family are. They do unbelievable things for the city every single day, and I'm so very, very honored that they have me and my wife a part of their foundation. They just do such a great job with that, and so we had the opportunity to be out there yesterday at Topgolf, and then got the news that Denny's engaged.
Yeah, his single status on Facebook and gone.
Yeah.
So that'll be a fun time. Going back to our Richard of the Week comment, somebody, what was his name? Doyle?
Yeah, Greg Doyle.
Greg Doyle?
Yeah.
Somebody said Greg Doyle's that kid on your team that made you all have to run laps.
That's a great text.
Shut up, Greg. I don't want to run again. We've been here for an hour.
Yeah.
Well, Greg opened up his mouth again, guys. Back and down, back. Son of a gun.
I was talking to one of the former C10 students that's now playing college baseball yesterday, and he was talking about, they're changing coaches or whatever it is in JUCO ranks, and he goes, we only had like one fist fight this year. I'm like, really? On your team? What happened? And he goes, the pitchers are lazy, man. Like, they don't want to run through the end of the line, right? And so he goes, like, every time they didn't hustle and sprint through and finish the sprint properly, they added another one on. He goes, and all the position players are mad. They want to beat up the pitchers because they're not hustling and running through the end of the line. That's Greg Doyle.
No doubt.
You're ruining it for everybody, pal.
Yeah, you're making us all run gassers, and nobody likes the word gassers when it comes to football or basketball. They are the worst. Tonight is a big series. It starts off in Kansas City tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. I can't emphasize enough how much importance there is in this series. I understand. I all understand. When it comes to where your feelings are with this Royals team, you know what Detroit is. They're the best team in baseball. They have Casey Mize going tonight, Tarek Skubal on Saturday. Going to be a tough, back-to-back games. But here's the deal. You got Seth Lugo back on the mound, and this is what Bobby Scales, who joined us earlier on the show, who does color commentary for those Detroit Tigers, had to say about Seth Lugo.
Seth Lugo is who he is, and he's interesting too, because I appreciate in the era of power, everything, power fastball, power slider, power curveballs. We're seeing changeups at 90, 91. Seth Lugo is a guy who is a pitching artisan. His array of pitches is impressive. And his ability to command all of those pitches to both sides of the plate, to both handed hitters, is very impressive. In my prep work with him, he's one of the guys where I write down very little, because what he's going to do. He's going to use all his pitches. He's going to pitch to all quadrants of the zone. And he's going to change eye level, and he's going to, it's one thing for a guy to go east-west with his pitches. It's one thing for a guy to go north-south. One thing that guys don't do a lot of, in my opinion, in today's baseball, is get guys going back and forth. And what I mean is speed them up, slow them down further, slow them down even further, and bam, speed them up again. Get guys in the rocker. And as a former position player, that is the worst place to be. I can handle a guy that works at top or bottom. I can handle a guy that goes east and west. But the guy that can do one of those things, if not both, but also have me constantly in the rocker speed-wise, is the guy that gives me the most trouble. And if he's doing that tonight, it could be a long night for the Tigers. And that's how he pitches. And so, I know he's coming back from injury a little bit, had the middle finger injury, or the finger injury. It's going to be interesting to see what pitches he has a feel for, but that's what he does, and that's what he's very good at. And so look for that tonight.
So that's what I'm interested in tonight, because there's a couple of storylines that revolve around Seth Lugo. And part of that storyline with Seth Lugo is a lot of you out there that really love this Noah Cameron kid. And Seth Lugo's a guy that's probably going to opt out of his contract at the end of this year, as he should, try to get a lot of money before he hangs up his hat for the rest of his career. And Seth Lugo's coming off the finger injury that he had, and now he's ready to go. It's a big, big game tonight. and a big series that starts off tonight. And if you want Noah Cameron on this pitching staff and you want to get a bat, Seth Lugo is the guy that you need to see go out there and do exactly what Bobby Scales just said. Be that up and down, east and west, north and south sort of pitcher. Keep Detroit guessing. Show that you have what it takes to go out there and shove against not just the Tigers, the best team in baseball, because this is a playoff game. This is a playoff series. This is a best of 3 winner go home type of deal. I know that there's a lot of the season left.
No, this is a big mark.
This lets you know where you're at, because what's everybody say? Royals can't beat the best teams. Royals can't beat the good teams. Even though they took 2 out of 3 against San Francisco, 8-0. But either way you want to look at it, this is a test game for Lugo in so many ways. Does he still have that sort of starter stuff that you can put the ball in his hand in game 1? And if he does, and someone has the availability to give you a bat, then Seth Lugo is a name that you could float out there, because you do have that belief in what you think you have in a guy in Noah Cameron.
Well, and also, too, I use the term expiring contract, but if you can opt out at the end of the season, it's an expiring contract. Seth Lugo may be the right guy to do away with, because you may not be able to re-sign him. Or maybe you feel confident that he's not going to opt out. You have those conversations with him beforehand, and maybe he says, you know what, I'm going to pick up my option and stay here for another year, and then that way you take me off the trading block. There's possibility of everything out there. But I think when you're looking to trade for that bat, and as we know, as we've talked about today, there's not going to be many bats available, is what Jesse Rogers of ESPN.com, who covers baseball, told us. We'll get to him in a second. There's not going to be many bats available out there to go and trade. You may have to part with something you didn't want to part with to get that bat that you need. And I'm kind of torn on what to do. I know this team needs a bat. They need a bat to get to the playoffs, but they're going to need pitching when they get to the playoffs. I think, in my opinion anyway, they have a surplus of really good pitching. I think it would be okay to trade one of your pitchers for a bat.
No doubt about it. And the other thing about this series, and I know it's huge, and it's going to give you a lot of answers to the rest of the season, which the summer has started, the June month is coming, July, the All-Star break, all that stuff is coming for baseball. But there will be highs and lows in the season, and Bobby Scales had this to say about the emotions of the highs and lows.
It's a long year, man. You cannot ride the emotional highs, the emotional highs or lows anytime you're involved in this game. You just cannot do it. And I will say this: I don't know Rocco that well as a person. I hear great things about him, especially given some of the injuries he's had, to contend with. When you don't have, they played something like, their stats ridiculous. I'm not going to quote it because I'm going to get it wrong, but they have not had, Lewis and Buxton and Correa on the field at the same time for extended periods of time during these last few years. But, when you get those guys back healthy, at least get 2 or 3 of them, you got a chance. In our case, the thing that I would say is that A.J. Hinch gets a lot of credit for the movement of the chess pieces in game. He's very good at that. That goes with, it's evidenced by some of the things he's doing. The reason he's able to do that is because he has 2 things. Number one, he has very, very versatile players, and he has players that have bought in. And as a leader, you get buy-in when you have complete, open, and honest communication with your group. Here's what we need from you today. Here's what we need from you tomorrow. Here's what we need from you going forward. The message is consistent. The message is clear. The message is truthful, and it doesn't change.
Imagine that, right? Here's the clear message. Here's what we're going for. Here's what we expect out of you, and let's go. But he started that off talking about riding the highs and lows, and that's a message for every Royals fan who's on, social media complaining about June 13th or May 5th or whatever the case may be. You can't do that. It's not smart. It's not healthy. It's not good. It's a long season. You got to ride that wave. And one day the text line wants everybody fired. The next day they want extensions for everybody. Then they want everybody fired. Then they want extensions for everybody. You can't live baseball like it is football. I thought that was a great reminder for Bobby Scales. Chill the F out, man. It's early.
Yeah, that was music to your ears. Something that wasn't music to your ears. Well, Bobby, we appreciate the time. Have a good call on the game tonight. Enjoy the 3 games against the Tigers and the Royals.
I appreciate that. Thanks very much. Go Blue.
Yes, sir. Snuck that Go Blue in there.
The Go Blue was brilliant by him. I mean, that's a great job. I love the fact that he came back around and texted you at Mac and goes, I had to get the Go Blue in there. Yes. Hey, man, it's Ohio State. It's Michigan. We talk some smack back and forth. And then he snuck that in at the end. He wins. Tip of the cap to him. Tip of the cap to Bobby Scales. That's Bobby Scales 1, Bobby Fesco nothing. That was a great move by him, man. Brilliant.
Great move by Mac earlier as well.
I haven't swiped right on 500 men.
versus one gorilla. Who wins? We also had Jesse Rogers on, who is with ESPN.com, covers the White Sox and the Cubs. And we asked about adding a bat for the Royals.
There's always a couple teams that are feeling like, okay, we're really not in it. But this is the one year I think that could be different, where it really is a seller's market. I mean, is there really anybody on the Marlins, that you're interested in that would be available? I'm not sure that there are. So long story short, I don't think there's going to be that many good hitters available. But the good news is most of the time teams are looking for pitching. The contenders are looking for pitching. There's not a lot of teams, contending teams, that have that many holes on offense like Kansas City might. And there's not that many contending teams that have as good a starting staff as Kansas City. So while everybody's zigging for starting pitching, you guys could zag and look for that one or two hitters that might be available. So that's kind of my bird's eye view here on May 30th.
So he mentions that where the zig and the zag, where everybody's going to look for pitching, but the Royals don't necessarily have to do that. And I always go back to last year with Josh Vernier talking about this, our Royals insider here at 96.5 The Fan, and probably one of the best dudes on the planet Earth. And he had said that the Royals last year were in a very good spot during the trade deadline because they didn't have to go get one of the hardest pieces to try to get, and that is a starting pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to do that. They have that. What they need is what a lot of people have, which is the availability of baseball bats, and the Royals don't have that. The Royals have a dynamite pitching staff. So then you ask yourself, okay, well, if you have that starting rotation, you have pitchers that you can, maybe shop around. Do you necessarily get rid of those pitchers to get a bat, or do you wait and think that maybe Caglione is that person? I don't know if that's the only answer you have in Caglione. I think I'm like you and Vern. I think I would like to have another bat.
Yeah, he's a answer. He's not the complete answer.
Right. And then we asked Jesse Rogers on trading a pitcher.
If they decide to move one of those guys,
Yeah.
I mean, that would be an interesting move to trade from your strength and one that could get you. I mean, one of the young guys. I mean, obviously Cameron's off to a great start. Who else is? Who am I thinking
Bubic.
of? Bubic. That's the name. Because they're not going to trade Lugo or Waka or whatever. Bubic or Cameron if they really wanted to, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not something I was thinking. Trading from your starting staff, a major league for major league trade. You don't see that very often. You all of a sudden you do that. You trade Bubic. And then there's an injury on the staff, and you go from a strength to a weakness. I mean, I think if starting pitching is your strength, you don't turn away from it. I wouldn't do that. I would, if you want to unload the farm system, fine. But I guess Bubic. But I'm not positive, which one necessarily gets you the most, because I don't think it's something that the Royals should do.
I get it. It's a great point by Jesse Rogers. It's completely opposite of the way that I was thinking, but after listening to him, unlike most people in 2025, I'm like, oh, that's an interesting way to look at something different that I wasn't considering. And so now I'm kind of like, he makes a great point. Do I want to trade from a strength? And I think ultimately I still do, even though he made a great case for why you don't want to trade for a strength. Or trade a strength, to make a weakness stronger. But I think this weakness is so weak right now that you need to upgrade that weakness. And I think our strength is really strong right now. It's the best staff in the American League, maybe one of the best staffs in all of baseball. You've got the opportunity to do that. Had Noah Cameron not done what he's done over the last 4 starts or whatever he's had, and then Jesse said that, I'd be like, yeah, I see what you're saying. But I think now that they have Noah Cameron, if you trade any of these pitchers on this staff, you've got a guy that can fill in for them. Where maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, maybe you didn't have that guy or didn't know that you had that guy. You now have essentially 6 pitchers for 5 spots. And so if you do trade one of your 5, then Cameron becomes one of your 5, and you're back to where you are. The injury thing, yes, I get that. Baseball players seemingly get injured looking the wrong direction at times, but I don't think you can operate going the what if with the injury situations. If an injury happens, you're probably screwed anyway, I think. So,
I also worry about the morale of the team. Like, it doesn't take a village idiot to realize what the strength of this team is, right? The pitching, which means, this team relies on its pitching. Like, the bats in this lineup are saying to themselves, hey, yeah, they're down, but let's just go get 3 or 4 and we should be fine. You get rid of one of those guys that's a piece of your starting rotation, it might kind of change what is it in Back to the Future, the continued line
the
or whatever.
Space-time continuum or whatever. It may.
That can affect that to where if you go back in time, like, man, imagine if we didn't trade Bubic.
Right.
And again, I'm not advocating that you trade Bubic. I'm just reacting to what most people want to see, and that is a bat. And the way I look at trades is you have to get, or in order to get, you have to give. You cannot give a Lorenzen and expect a Mullins. I don't think so. What you need to see happen is, are the Royals in a luxury spot here with a lot of starting pitching? The answer is yes.
Yes.
Right now they have 6 guys that can go out there and shove. And when Reagans comes back, that's your full 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
There may be 7. You'd have Reagans, Lugo, Watka, Lorenzen, and Bubic. Then you throw Noah Cameron out there. There's your 6 starting pitchers that could all go out there and do that. When it comes to the playoffs, though, When it comes to the playoffs, though, you're not going to have 6 guys.
You only need 3.
And you've got a bullpen.
Yeah.
So at what point do you find that sweet spot?
That's where I'm stuck. I'm not gonna, that's where I'm stuck.
But you got to get there first.
You got to get there. And a bat helps you get there, but pitchers help you win once you're there. But if you don't get there, then you can't win when you're there.
Because what we've also said is that we have a World Series caliber starting rotation and a minor league
minor league
batting order.
Yep.
So that's the deal.
So I think at the end of the day, push comes to shove, I am probably trading one of those starting pitchers to get a bat. I got to short. What are you going to do? Where are you leaning on that one, Mac? Where are you leaning on that one?
I go to your theory, man. You win now.
Yeah.
And is Bubic going to be here in 4 years? I don't know. Is Lugo going to be on this team next year? Definitely not. I don't think so. And is Lorenzen a long-term answer? I don't believe that either. So if you have to move somebody, I mean, you're still keeping your ace of your staff from day one, which is Cole Reagans. We all know that. Everyone believes that Cole Reagans is your ace. I understand that Bubic's having a great year. But if you want to see this team get to the playoffs, they've got to continue this pitching. And if you get rid of those guys, and like they've said, if somebody goes down or somebody's out, which can obviously happen. I mean, Lugo misses a couple of starts with a finger injury. Reagans has missed a couple of starts now with the quad injury. I mean, these things
can happen. But also, if you're scoring a few more runs per game, the pressure's off those guys on the mound, too, in a big way. And I think we need to start taking the pressure off of the guys on the mound. We can't expect these guys to go out to give up 2 or 3 runs every single time and then the bullpen to be perfect.
Yeah.
It's impossible, man.
Which
it really
is what
is.
this team is expecting right now, or that's their plan to win. That's their map.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's... Yes, it's what we think their plan is to win. I'm sure they're not planning like, all right, we got to go out there and can only do this, until we find everything else. Like, it's hard in baseball to hold teams down every single night. For 2 months, the Royals have done a really nice job at that. They really have done a great job of limiting the opposition. They're not getting blown out. They're not giving up, crooked numbers and innings or anything like that. How much longer can you do that, though, where everybody is perfect? You're relying on essentially 13 people to be perfect every time they do their job, and as we know, that's hard to do, It's not a knock against those guys at all. It's like now's the time to give people some more resources, give them a little relief, give them the opportunities to have successes.
I just think every year that you have Bobby Witt Jr. on your roster, you've got to go all out and try and win. And the way this team looks right now, the way they're going to win is, yes, with the pitching, but that one extra bat could possibly go through the roof. And if you have the ability to extend that ceiling with a guy like Bobby Witt in his prime, you have to do it.
And another point to kind of pick up where you left off there, if you get that other bat, maybe you wrap up a playoff berth a lot earlier than late in the year, and you can take some of those taxing innings off your pitchers at the end of September. Like, say you get a bat, and all of a sudden by mid-September, by the 20th of September, you've got a playoff spot locked up. Well, then you've got essentially 10 days the rest of the month where you can dial back your starters and not put so many hard taxing innings on them, too.
Well, and guys like Salvi as well.
Yeah, perfect example. Yeah. Another guy, take Salvi out of the line.
Vinny,
give him some
we know
days.
he struggles with it. Yes, exactly.
Do you guys take a sub-bar conversation, want to put any money on the Panthers to win the Super Bowl?
The 2026 Super Bowl?
That's right.
I'm going to go no.
Okay. 2002, 2003, Ohio State won the national championship. The Panthers opened their season versus Jacksonville. J-Lo files for divorce from Chris Judo. The Panthers made the Super Bowl. 2014, 2015, Ohio State won the national championship. Panthers opened that season with the Jags. J-Lo divorced Mark Anthony. The Panthers made the Super Bowl.
Jeez.
In 2024, 2025, Ohio State was the national champion. The Carolina Panthers opened their season with the Jacksonville Jaguars. J-Lo filed a divorce against Ben Affleck. Super Bowl appearance in 2026?
I think so.
That's awesome.
I mean, you have to. That's a $5 flyer bet.
Oh, and by the way, Kayla Nicole has now again made some more remarks about Travis Kelce and his relationship.
Why?
I don't know. It's on page 6 if you want to read it. I'm not clicking on it. I've had enough of this lady.
Gosh.
Stay away. Go home. Go home, buddy. I work alone. That's what Mr. Incredible told him.
Yes.
Why is she still out there?
Why do people care?
I don't. Page 6 does.
No, that's what I'm saying. Why? Who cares? That's like going and interviewing all of our ex-girlfriends and talking about years ago.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Insane.
Do people, and I love Travis and Taylor to death, but do people have that much interest where they care about what somebody's ex says about them? Like, is that, maybe it is. They wouldn't keep putting these stories out there if people weren't clicking on them.
Clicks. Yep.
Yeah. So don't click on it, but read it on the air. I know. I'm a contradicting fool. Somebody says, what's the higher number, Celtics titles or J-Lo marriages? I don't know. They might get another title when they go get your boy Giannis and get rid of Jaylen Brown.
Go.
Oh, yeah.
Giannis is going to start shooting threes next year. We'll wrap this show up on the other side and get to our can of corn of the weekend here on Fesco and Dusty with Mac Maury on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Fesco and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Breaking Benjamin. And Stained. Awaken the Fallen Tour. This Sunday night at T-Mobile Center with special guests Wage War and Lakeview. Tickets on sale now at LiveNation.com. Breaking Benjamin and Stained together live.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Kansas City. T-Mobile Center, July 29th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit Shinedown.com.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors. Like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter. Or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights, at home or at work. We'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
The DQ Sauced and Tossed Chicken Strip Baskets have more flavor than your taste buds know what to do with. We start with all white meat, breaded, seasoned, and fried to crunchy perfection. Next, we double down and toss them in honey barbecue or new buffalo sauce. Serve them up with DQ fries, Texas toast, and house-made Hidden Valley Ranch, and you've got flavor on flavor on flavor. Get the Sauced and Tossed Chicken Strip Basket in honey barbecue or new buffalo right now at DQ. Happy tastes good. Participation may vary.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
The peace lily is so last year. Hey, has anyone worked with fiddlenecks?
Shelby's popular flower shop is in full bloom.
We just got a request for an arrangement that evokes air. Who's up for that challenge? No?
She needs to hire a floral designer to nip foliage faux pas in the bud.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our advanced matching helps find talented candidates so you can connect with them fast. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Right now, get a $15 gift card after rebate with the purchase of select AC Pro refrigerant products at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Warning, the national debt is spiraling out of control. Trade wars are causing record volatility, and inflation could make a devastating comeback. Will you sit on the sidelines and wait, or will you take action today to help protect your hard-earned retirement savings? And what if you could do it tax and penalty-free? Find out more by requesting your free 2025 gold and silver kit from the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco. Plus, you could get an unlimited instant match on bonus silver if you qualify. Call 855-969-GOLD to learn more. That's 855-969-GOLD. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Right now, get a $15 gift card after rebate with the purchase of select AC Pro refrigerant products at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's the spring sales event at Rob Sight Ford, and I'm here with the man himself, Rob Sight. Rob, you already stole the spotlight. Now what are you trying to take?
Just your attention, Kevin, and maybe a few trade-ins. Now, we've got up to $14,000 off new Fords with employee pricing, plus our own dealer discount.
$14,000. That's hotter than your Sunday barbecue.
Exactly. And unlike your burgers, these deals won't dry out. We've got hard-to-find inventory, huge trade-in values, and our non-commissioned sales team makes everything so easy.
No pressure, just real help. Even I'll admit it, it's the best place in Kansas City to buy a car, and I don't hand out compliments lightly, or seconds.
That's a fact. And don't forget, we're Kansas City's top-rated Ford dealer on Google. 4.8 stars, nearly 3,000 reviews, and 0 grill marks.
All right, Rob, I'll give it to you, man. You're cooking up some real value over there.
Come see us at 135th and State Line or visit robsight.com. But hurry, these deals are sizzling and inventory's moving fast.
And tell him Rob sent you. No guarantees, but he might throw in a hot dog.
Great text here to wrap up the show here in about 10 minutes. How about we just move Denny's wedding up a few days and have it at the end of the parade? Could you imagine?
Oh, my God. How awesome would that be? Instead of people coming out giving speeches about winning the World Series, it's Denny's marriage ceremony. That'd be awesome.
Coming in on a Rolls Royce.
Oh, people would love that. That'd be the greatest parade day thing in the history of American professional sports. Nothing. Not even Mark Madsen dancing or Matthew Stafford watching that poor girl fall off the podium and do nothing about it would top Denny and Amy getting married in Union Station after the Royals win the World Series. How cool would that be?
Here comes the bride and gone. Honeymoon. Oh, man.
It's going to be so much fun giving Denny the bachelor party. He's getting engaged, getting married November 15th. Like, I'm so excited. Like, I was like a little kid. You're getting engaged? You're getting married? What? I mean, like, gosh.
Right.
So fun.
Can't wait for that. That'll be a great time. That was fun to know that. I never thought in my life I would do my Denny Matthews impersonation in front of Denny Matthews.
It was great.
It's like the Spider-Man meme.
Yeah, it kind of was. And then he did his Harry Carey impersonation, which was...
We would just rip the Band-Aid off after that point.
I mean, it was dead on. Then he did his Ryan Lefevre impersonation, too.
Yeah. Wow. But no, it's been a fun short week this week. Getting ready to hit the weekend. But before we do that, let's get into our can of corn, something that we'll easily be taking advantage of this weekend. I will say this because I talked to Jake Eisenberg at that event last night. He'll be on with Cody and Gold today, the play-by-play voice of the Royals. You hear him on the radio or the TV all the time. Plus, you can hear the Royals tonight here on 96.5 The Van, Josh Verner's pregame show as well. I got to go to Block 16 in Omaha.
Okay. What's that?
It's a burger joint. And
nice.
Direct quote from Eisenberg, "It's the best burger you'll ever eat. It's the best burger I've ate. You have to and you must go. I will tell Alex the same thing on air tomorrow."
What makes a great burger? Like because you hear that all the time, right? You got to have this burger. You got to have that burger. You got to, what makes that one the best one that he's ever had? I'd like to know, because when you're done, I want all the answers. Like maybe they did Wagyu beef or whatever the case may be. Like, right. I want to know what made that. Was it the bun? Was it the toppings? Was it the meat? Was it the sauce? Like, what makes it better?
Yeah, I just think that it's, I don't know. Because when people, because the text line's been about this, the people I've reached out to that told them I'm going to Omaha, they said the same thing. They're like, Block 16, Block 16. It's been here all week. Once we told people that we were going to go there, they said that on the text line, it says it's cooked in grilled onion butter. So yeah, okay. We're there. Yeah, we're there. I don't know, man. Like, I still think it's going to be tough because the best burger I've ever had in my entire life is at Swope's in Rich Hill, which we're going to miss Rich Hill, whose nickname is Dick Mountain.
Yeah.
That's not me. Hey, that's his name.
Yeah.
I didn't come up with it. He'll pitch Sunday, but we'll be there Friday and Saturday. But, yeah, Block 16 is where we're going. But Swope's was the best burger I've ever had in my life. It's in Rich Hill, right by a Tasty Freeze, actually.
Is it really?
Yeah. Swope's Burgers, man, they serve the Suzy Q's that come all the way up. They're all stuck together. You share with 3 or 4 other people.
Yeah.
And then the burger has that wax paper on it that when you peel
the
it
wax
away,
paper's a winner,
That little piece of cheese is still stuck.
You got to get that off the wax paper.
Oh, God. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. That's going to be my can of corn this weekend, fellas. You're on the clock.
Yeah, that sounds like a good one. I do want more on that burger, and take notes and tell us all about it when you come back to it, because everybody's saying this is a great burger, and we're going up there at the end of the June, so I might have to try it if it's going to be.
And I'll tell you where Bob's Bridge is.
Yeah, Bob's Bridge is across the river between Omaha. Our friend Colby Curry from the Royals texted. He goes to Bob's Bridge. You got to go over it. It connects Iowa to Nebraska.
Literally, it's what it's called.
Yeah,
Bob's
named
Bridge.
after Bob Carey, former Nebraska something. And so you get the opportunity to walk across that. I think that'll be fun. For Can of Corn this weekend is pretty simple. Martin City Brewery to celebrate Diane Houston tomorrow afternoon. She's being honored as the distinguished alum of Grandview High School. So we're going to go to Martin City Brewery and celebrate her, have some good brews, have some good food.
Get the Caesar salad.
Caesar salad is fantastic. The pizza's fantastic. The hot sauce that you can put on there. The little hot oil is so good. And they're great people, too. Matt Moore of Martin City Brewing Company donated $15,000 now for my wife for the BMA Foundation. So they do a great job out there. And so we'll be there celebrating tomorrow. That's going to be easy weekend for us. And now we got kids that drive, so we don't have to worry about it.
Tell if you talk to Matt, can you tell him to make a Dusty pizza where it's just a pepperoni pizza with the Caesar salad dumped on top of the pizza?
That doesn't sound bad at all.
It's fantastic.
Caesar salad pizza is one of the best
things
things
it's one
ever.
of the best things ever. That's all I need from there.
That does not sound bad at all.
So good. Mellow Mushroom did a great one. Yeah.
Oh, man, I need to try that place because my buddy that I play golf with on Mondays, Big Mike, he says it's the best pizza he's ever had is Mellow Mushroom.
Really? Yeah, I think it's up there for me, too. I loved working
Where's that
there.
at?
I don't know where. In
I know there's
relation
one
to here.
in Lawrence.
Is there?
I believe.
Okay, cool.
Oh, it's a chain place?
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're all over Tennessee.
And they have them in the Gulf Shores, too, I believe.
So like a kind of a southern
Kind of a
deal.
southern,
All right.
yeah.
Southern pizza.
Little
How
southern
much
pizza.
is, you mentioned the girls driving now. How much has that changed your weekends?
A lot.
Really?
Yeah, boy. Yeah. Dad's tanked. It's 5. I need a ride.
Exactly.
No, I mean,
and I know you have my location.
No, it's not even that. It's more that they can take themselves places. Like, hey, Mom and I are going out. All right, we're going here. We're going there. All right, see you later.
All right, cool.
You know,
See you
yeah.
later. Let us know where you are. Yeah.
It's still very nerve-wracking, though. I'm not going to lie. I hate it.
That was my next question.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Only
hard
a few
right
weeks
now.
into that.
Yeah, so
very
you're
new.
constantly on Life 360, making sure everybody's okay. And, it's very nerve-wracking. Very nerve-wracking.
I'm also interested to see if Gold likes this burger because when we went to AA in Springfield to see Cags, he hated the Springfield cashew chicken.
Which was like chicken tenders with brown sauce on
And
it.
he's going to
Like,
eat a burger. He's like, tastes like a burger. I love it. And I get a better one at McDonald's.
well, he also, that's a good facial impression of Alex, too.
That
That's
was
really
exactly
good.
his face.
Yeah.
He took one bite. He just goes, man, it's chicken. It's chicken. The egg roll was better. The egg roll? Now let's rip these packs.
Here we go.
No, he has a hobby pack of 24 packs of cards he's ripping in my front seat as we drive.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
I can't wait.
That's going to be good.
He goes, I'm guaranteed at least one auto.
Oh.
So I said, well, let's hope it's somebody important.
One auto.
Whatever one is worth the most. Who
Ryan
cares?
O'Hearn, future Royal. Now that's a guy you could go get.
That is a guy you could go get. It's never, how would the fan base react to that? Could the organization bring him back? I think you can. I mean, there's been rumors about Jorge Soler potentially coming back. I mean, you can bring guys back. We brought Kareem Hunt back to the Chiefs. Like, everybody has an opportunity. I think Ryan O'Hearn was miscast by the last manager here in Kansas City. I don't think they were a fit together. That's just kind of my take on the whole thing. I think Ryan O'Hearn's playing in Baltimore. He's more relaxed and not feeling pressure every single day to get 10 hits and 1 at bat. And so I think Hugh would be a good manager for him. He'd be a nice player to have here. He's been knocking the cover off the ball since he left. But I think the Royals would make that trade and fans would be like not excited about that, because they remember Ryan O'Hearn for when he was here as opposed to the guy who since he's left has been a really good Major League Baseball player.
Night and day. There's a Fuddruckers in Omaha? Oh, no.
Oh, dang.
Man, you got to go to that Block 16.
Yeah.
As much as everybody's like, oh, I'd love to go. Yeah, but we got these other places.
God, I saw his
and that's your
face,
generation. You ruined Fuddruckers for us. You told me yesterday, so.
Dusty's eyes lit up.
I love
Fuddruckers,
man. It's that cheese for the fries.
Yeah, the fries, yeah.
O'Hearn would be a complete waste of time.
See, there we go. Have you checked O'Hearn's numbers, or are you just making things up because that's your opinion and you're not going to look at the facts? What the hell was that? Because it is 2025. That's what we do now. I was talking to somebody yesterday about that. You know, people present these great opportunities, but you don't want to look at them. You don't want to. Oh, wait, that was the stadium in memory. It's not ever going there. You're wrong.
What's your can of corn this weekend?
His is Martin City.
Martin City, that's right. I knew he was talking about it. I know that was his can of corn.
Yeah, mine's going to be, honestly, if the weather's going to be nice, it's going to be being outside. Gonna be in the sun, gonna be hanging out, gonna be grilling.
Getting those thighs some sun.
Me hooping up a little bit, maybe play some disc golf, run some routes.
Shooter.
No, it'll be fun.
You're going to do some routes in the driveway, get ready for the regular season?
Exactly.
Well,
I've got to prep.
Have Hannah out there throwing you footballs?
Hannah can chuck the pigskin, absolutely.
He gets mad when she throws it behind him. You gotta leave
me.
I wanted to be here, not here.
You got to throw to a spot, not to me.
Yeah,
there's the spot. Throw to the spot. I'll get to the spot. Now try it again.
Mac turns into the dad from the Boom Boys.
Hannah's like, I'm out.
We're running drills.
I'm done with this.
Here comes a boom. Throw it in front of me, not from behind. That guy sucks.
Those guys are great.
I like the kid. I don't like the dad.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny is the Rizzlers just completely left them. The Rizzler does his own thing.
Good.
They never talks
He
with the
teamed
Boom
up
guys.
with Elmo.
Yes, I saw
They
that.
were doing the Riz face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bob's like, who the hell is this?
I know who Elmo is. The Riz kid. I mean,
That's right. Hey, go have a good weekend. Take care of yourself mentally and physically and have a good time, but also go do something nice for somebody. You never know. It could change their day, their week, their month, their year. It's simply cool to care. Kansas City, stay safe, stay kind, enjoy the weekend. Coming up next, it's Cody Gold and Drew from 10 to 2. We'll talk to you Monday. We're back Monday?
You're listening to